Chapter 3064. Damn it, this bastard is actually able to arrange such a terrifying formation. Third brother, be careful. This sword formation is not simple. The second palace master's expression changed. He was somewhat worried for the third palace master. After all, this guy's formation was truly terrifying. Even he could not take out 108 origin divine weapons. Moreover, this guy's terrifying sword intent made even him feel threatened. However, the second palace master also understood that Jiang Chen would not be able to withstand this terrifying sword formation for too long. Even so, once the formation was formed, the attack would gradually take shape. Usually, it would only take an instant to complete the killing. The sword formation was like rain, and thunder rumbled in all directions. The third palace master's expression changed drastically in the sword formation as he constantly resisted the endless sword rain. Your opponent is me. Long Shersan bellowed angrily. Layers of rod shadows smashed the void as he chased after the second palace master. However, Long Shersan's strength was still a notch lower. The second palace master had already injured him 3 times in a row. However, Long Shersan's attack did not weaken at all. This guy was like an unkillable puppet. Even the second palace master had a headache dealing with him. However, he could no longer hold back at this moment. He had to defeat Long Shersan before he could kill Jiang Chen. Otherwise, the third palace master would not be able to hold on for too long. Get lost. The second palace master moved his hand and forced Long Shersan to retreat. The world energy that erupted almost instantly made Long Shersan lose his ability to fight. He was severely injured. However, Bai Yun, who had been watching the battle from afar, finally made her move. Brother Shersan, let me help you. Bai Yunfei called out. An extremely powerful energy erupted from her petite body, forcing the second master back. She reached out with a single hand, and a terrifying strand of origin energy fused with Long Shersan's body. Long Shersan's complexion immediately recovered quite a bit. Even he had no idea how Bai Yunfei could recover so quickly. Her origin energy was just too monstrous. He could feel his wounds healing at an extremely terrifying rate. Bai Yun, even you want to go against me? The second mansion master snorted coldly. His face was terrifyingly gloomy as he stared at White Cloud. I won't allow you to touch Brother Shersan, Bai Yun said solemnly. Why? Do you know him? The second mansion master bellowed. Because he's handsome, White Cloud said lightly. You. The second mansion master almost spat out a mouthful of blood. Isn't this reason a little too far-fetched? Big brother didn't leave you in Tongxian Mansion to make you a traitor. Do you really think that I won't dare to touch you? The second mansion master said in a deep voice. So what if I do? I'm on Brother Shersan's side anyway. Do whatever you want. Don't use that guy to pressure me. If it wasn't for him, would I have ended up in this state? Bai Yunfei curled her lips and said, if it wasn't for Big Brother, you would have died long ago and disappeared in the long river of history. Not only do you not know how to repay kindness, but you're also trying to make a false accusation. Now that Tongxian Mansion is at its most critical moment, you're still trying to help an outsider. You've really disappointed me. Even if Big Brother was here, he wouldn't blame me. Little girl, you asked for it. Don't blame me for being ruthless. As soon as the second mansion master's voice fell, he charged forward. He must force Jiang Chen to retreat before he could defeat the third mansion master. Otherwise, his third brother would be in big trouble. He always felt that Jiang Chen was not someone easy to deal with. It was impossible for an early hierarch to defeat a half-step divine emperor, but he did it. How could the second mansion master not be shocked? However, his third brother did not defeat Jiang Chen immediately, which made him hesitate. Originally, he was waiting for an opportunity to kill Jiang Chen and the others in one fell swoop. But in the end, he didn't manage to wait for that moment. Jiang Chen had already found the opportunity to kill Lao San, causing the second master to be extremely furious. On the contrary, Xueqi had the upper hand between him and Lin Yukong. However, that was all. Except for him, everyone else was in a passive state. The 7 dragon riders' heavenly guards were not real people after all. Gradually, they were besieged by hundreds of hierarch realm experts and lost their initiative. The Great Elder and the others were also suppressing Hun Qiansua and the others. Qian Renji was injured several times and was being targeted by the people of Tongxian Mansion. In the whole battle, Xueqi was the only one who had the upper hand. It was not easy for Dragon Xueqi to stall the deputy mansion master with his fearless spirit and the help of the battle saint method. On the other side, Jiang Chen's Ashura sword formation had completely sealed off the 3rd Prefecture Lord's escape route. The terrifying sword rain was like the summoning of the Grim Reaper. The 3rd Prefecture Lord's strength was heavily injured. He could not withstand Jiang Chen's terrifying sword rain at all. The Ashura sword formation, 108 origin divine tools were fully unleashed. Each of the sword chi was enough to kill a late hierarch expert. It was not easy for the 3rd mansion master to hold on for 30 breaths. However, this time, Jiang Chen did not give up. 4 stars Do formation technique. Jiang Chen's eyes were filled with killing intent. He must kill the 3rd mansion master first. Otherwise, he would be in a more dangerous situation. The 2nd mansion master was fighting against Long Xueqi. It was impossible for the stinky monkey to defeat the 2nd mansion master. Jiang Chen was extremely surprised that the Long Xueqi's strength had improved so fast that even Jiang Chen could not catch up to him. However, it was extremely difficult for him to kill the 2nd mansion master. It was already a blessing that he was not killed by the former. Jiang Chen used the Do formation technique on the basis of the Ashura sword formation. The Heartless sword rain was even more terrifying. The Do formation technique and the Ashura sword formation consumed Jiang Chen's divine origin energy in just 10 breaths. However, it was too terrifying. The 3rd mansion master did not even have the chance to fight back. The Do formation technique was so powerful and terrifying that it shocked Jiang Chen. However, it also consumed a lot of his divine origin energy. 10 breaths of light shone brightly in the void. Everyone broke out in cold sweat for the 3rd mansion master, because the formless killing intent had made them feel despair. No one could understand how Jiang Chen was able to set up the formation of 108 primordial divine tools, because they did not need to experience how terrifying the formation was. They knew that it was a peerless killing formation. Even a half-step divine king would not dare to approach it. Jiang Chen was arrogant. He did have the right to be arrogant. At this moment, they still could not believe that Jiang Chen could force a half-step divine emperor to such a state. However, the truth was right in front of them. They had never seen such a formation before. Including the Great Elder, Lin Yukong and the others, they looked at the formation in despair, looking at the only person in the formation. It's too terrifying. This Jiang Chen is really going against the heavens. A half-step divine emperor. I don't believe that he can kill the 3rd mansion master. Even if you don't believe it, the 3rd mansion master is already an arrow at the end of its flight. There's no way for him to resist. Everyone was looking forward to the battle to the death between the 3rd Manor Lord and Jiang Chen. Everyone's hearts were in their throats. The 2nd mansion master wanted to take action, but he could not even take care of himself. Moreover, Jiang Chen's killing formation changed too quickly. In just a moment, when the 4 stars Do formation technique was activated, the Ghost Prison Ashura sword formation could no longer turn back. Chapter 3065. The 3rd mansion master's eyes were filled with despair. He had given his all. Even though he had lived for thousands of years, he had never encountered such a crisis. At this moment, he finally felt the attack of death. The peerless sword rain was pressing down on him. Compared to the first moment, it was more than a few times stronger. Jiang Chen's face was getting uglier and uglier. He had reached the limit of the terrifying energy used to support the 4 stars Do formation technique and the Ashura sword formation. No! The 2nd mansion master shouted hysterically. His expression changed drastically. However, Jiang Chen had already made up his mind to kill the 3rd mansion master. The support of the Do formation technique was completed within 10 breaths. However, the 3rd mansion master's life force disappeared instantly. Jiang Chen held the Great Yu Soul forming light and sucked the 3rd mansion master's soul into it. After all, the 3rd mansion master was a half-step divine emperor expert. It was not easy to kill him as his soul was extraordinarily strong. The 3rd mansion master was struggling in the Great Yu Soul forming light. However, he did not have any chance to get out. His body floated down and his aura died instantly. His eyes were dull and lifeless. The 3rd mansion master died on the spot. Jiang Chen, go to hell. The 2nd mansion lord roared. The clouds rumbled and the sky changed color. The 3rd mansion lord was the closest person to him. No matter how ruthless a person was, he had a soft side to him. They grew up together, step by step until today. The 3rd mansion lord was like a younger brother to him. The three of them had dominated the northern domain and founded the profound connection divine palace, shocking the world. They had promised to explore the world together, but he was killed by Jiang Chen. The sky darkened and the Tongxian mansion became quiet. Countless genius students were afraid of Jiang Chen, because this guy was too abnormal. He was the model of arrogance and conceit. However, he was also the symbol of great wisdom. Killing a half-step divine emperor. Who would believe such a feat? Who could do it? However, Jiang Chen had done it. The insufferably arrogant third prefecture lord had been reduced to ash by his sword formation. Blood sprayed everywhere, and his flesh and blood were mangled and mangled. His life force had been severed, and he was nowhere to be seen. Jiang Chen's strength had reached the point where they could only look up to him. This was war, this was passion, this was the terror and despair that Jiang Chen brought to them. Was the Tongxian mansion going to be overturned by Jiang Chen? Jiang Chen stood proudly. Although his aura had weakened to the extreme, his silhouette was like a mountain that pressed down on the peak of the void, pressing down on everyone's hearts. Jiang Chen was like an insurmountable mountain. Some were happy, some were sad, some were excited, and some were happy for Jiang Chen. However, the battle was far from over. Bai Yun, even if Big Brother is back, he won't be able to save you. Today, I will make everyone die together with my third brother. The second prefecture lord's cold face became like the god of hell in everyone's eyes. The second prefecture lord's momentum swept across the sky, and directly sent Bai Yun and Long Shersan flying. The momentum of a half-step divine emperor was completely unsealed. His terrifying momentum did not stop there. It was close to the emperor realm. In addition to the death of his brother, the second prefecture lord was completely enraged. The second prefecture lord approached Jiang Chen with a terrifying technique. He struck out a palm strike, and the sound of an explosion in the air was ear-splitting. Eastern Emperor Limitless Art, Divine Golden Bell, God Sealing Prohibition. Jiang Chen displayed the Divine Golden Bell, the absolute defense of the Eastern Emperor Bell, and withstood the second prefecture lord's attack. However, his figure was also sent flying in an instant. The Divine Golden Bell blocked the second prefecture lord's first wave of attack, but it could not block the aftershock. Jiang Chen's strength was too weak, so weak that he did not know how to defend himself, and was directly injured by the second prefecture lord. Jiang Chen gritted his teeth, and his face was cold. However, at this moment, Long Shersan and Bai Yun appeared again, and blocked in front of Jiang Chen. The three of them were severely injured, but the second prefecture lord's momentum was getting stronger. You dare to kill my third brother, Jiang Chen. If you force me, I will grind your bones into ashes. The second prefecture lord's eyes almost popped out of their sockets, and he clenched his fists tightly. The veins on his face were popping out. This was the first time in a million years that he was so angry. His own brother was killed, and he could not stay calm anymore. However, at this moment, he had to stay calm. Although the third prefecture lord's body was destroyed, Jiang Chen knew that his third brother's soul was trapped in the great Yu soul-forming light by Jiang Chen. This meant that his third brother's soul was still alive, but it was severely injured. If he and his elder brother could break through to the Emperor realm in the future, it would not be impossible for them to revive his third brother. However, if Jiang Chen destroyed his third brother's soul, everything would turn to dust. Even if I don't do this, will you let me go? Even if you don't let me go, do you think that I will let you go? Jiang Chen said faintly. Lang Lang looked at the second prefecture lord, and their eyes met. Give me my third brother's soul. Second prefecture lord Lang Lang said. You're dreaming. Jiang Chen said. That's what you said. If I let you meet someone, perhaps you won't think so, right? The second prefecture lord's lips curled into a smile, and the coldness in his eyes became even more terrifying. What do you mean? Jiang Chen frowned, and his expression was cold. He seemed to have a bad premonition, and that feeling shrouded his heart, making Jiang Chen feel extremely depressed. Come out, your old lover. Do you still know her? The second prefecture lord said faintly. In an instant, two hierarch realm elders appeared in the void with a green-clothed lady with messy long hair. Jiang Chen's eyes suddenly shrunk, and his expression became cold at this moment. His heart was trembling. When his eyes met the lady's, his heart was filled with endless anger and longing. Little Chunzi. The green-clothed lady was Jiang Zhu, the one Jiang Chen had been searching for, Wu Ningzhu, the sister Ning that he missed so much. At that moment, Jiang Chen could not believe his eyes, but she was really standing in front of him. Their eyes met. Wu Ningzhu's tears gushed out like a fountain. She was already satisfied to see her beloved husband before she died. Sister Ning, Jiang Chen murmured. However, he knew that this was not the time for them to reminisce, because Wu Ningzhu was caught by the second prefecture lord. Now, can we have a good talk? The second prefecture lord smiled mockingly, and looked at Jiang Chen with contempt. Jiang Chen's body trembled at this moment. His eyes were filled with the flames of anger. His heart became cold. The divine origin energy in his body was recovering rapidly. Jiang Chen stared at the second prefecture lord and said word by word, "You're a heavenly monarch, you're a heavenly monarch." Chapter 3066. Sister Ning. Yan Qingqing murmured silently. When she looked at Jiang Chen's eyes, she knew that Jiang Chen was thoroughly enraged. She had never seen him this angry before. It was like a raging fire that couldn't be extinguished. Jiang Chen's eyes were filled with an incomparably cold light. It was like a monstrous flame that soared to the 9 heavens. That terrifying aura continued to spread. Jiang Chen's anger was completely unleashed. He could tolerate being bullied, he could tolerate being weak, but the only thing he couldn't tolerate was anyone touching his woman, especially his most beloved sister Ning. This was his taboo, the only thing that he couldn't touch. Once someone touched it, Jiang Chen would definitely erupt. The second palace master didn't know, nor did he understand how important Wu Ningzhu was to Jiang Chen. In his opinion, she was just a woman. At most, Jiang Chen could be considered as someone who valued friendship. Using her to exchange for his brother's soul was too worthwhile. He didn't even think that Jiang Chen would care about Wu Ningzhu so much. How could a true expert be shackled by love? When one's strength had reached a truly unparalleled realm, wouldn't he be able to choose any woman under the heavens? On the path of cultivation, the second palace master had never seen someone who placed women first. Jiang Chen's ice-cold murderous intent made the second palace master frown. This fellow was really different from others. He actually valued Wu Ningzhu so much. Wasn't she just a woman? If it wasn't for the fact that she could be used to exchange for his brother's soul, he would have killed Wu Ningzhu long ago. Although he couldn't use Wu Ningzhu to threaten Jiang Chen, this fella had become one of his most important weaknesses. Don't believe him. I don't have long to live. Little Chenzi, you mustn't be led by the nose by him, Wu Ningzhu said while gritting her teeth. Her blood-red eyes were filled with tears. She was already satisfied to be able to see her beloved before she died. She originally thought that she would be separated from Jiang Chen forever after she came to the divine world. However, God had opened his eyes and allowed her to reunite with Jiang Chen here. She wouldn't expect anything else, because this was her destiny. Moreover, if she became Jiang Chen's shackles, she would regret it for the rest of her life. She could die, but Jiang Chen couldn't be defeated. She couldn't allow her man to be restrained by him. In Wu Ningzhu's heart, she had imagined countless times the moment the two of them would meet again. She would hug and cry, throw herself into his arms and act like a spoiled child. She would blame him for not looking for her after so many years, and for not treating her well enough. However, the moment she saw Jiang Chen, everything turned into tears. There was only one thought left in her heart: as long as he was here, everything would be enough. Jiang Chen suppressed the rage in his heart. No matter what, he wouldn't let Wu Ningzhu come to any harm. If the second palace master dared to touch a single hair on her, Jiang Chen would make sure that he would never be able to reincarnate. He would suffer in the cycle of reincarnation forever. But I can't live without you. Although Jiang Chen couldn't suppress the rage in his body anymore, he still managed to remain clear-headed. Even if you die and disappear, to the ends of the earth or the underworld, I will still find you, Jiang Chen said in a low voice. Wu Ningzhu cried like a tearful person. She didn't want to die. She wanted to be with the person she loved. She wanted to give birth to their child for Jiang Chen. She wanted to be with him for the rest of her life. However, fate was so unfair. It caused her to be trapped in a prison, and she wouldn't be able to live for long. You only have this one choice. The second palace master frowned and said coldly, Fine. I promise you. Jiang Chen took a deep breath. As long as Sister Ning was safe, Jiang Chen wouldn't hesitate to make his move. He would definitely kill the second palace master. He would definitely turn his bones into ashes and kill him as soon as possible. Great. Release my third brother, the second palace master said. Don't you think that your sincerity isn't enough? You were the one who proposed the conditions. You should be the one to release him first, right? Jiang Chen said in a deep voice. Since we don't trust each other, let's release him together. I'll count to 3. I don't want to break my promise, but I don't want others to deceive me either. The second palace master squinted his eyes and looked at Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen nodded silently. 1, 2, 3. The moment the second palace master counted to 3, both of them released Wu Ningzhu at the same time. Jiang Chen immediately used the Zulong Tower to keep Wu Ningzhu. The second palace master was even faster. When he obtained the third palace master's soul and wanted to capture Wu Ningzhu again, she was already rescued by Jiang Chen. The second palace master's pupils contracted. He stared at Jiang Chen and said in a deep voice, "You will pay for my third brother's death. You dare to use my woman to threaten me. From that moment on, you were destined to die," Jiang Chen said faintly. However, the bloody light in his eyes became even more sinister. Jiang Chen hugged Wu Ningzhu with one hand. It was a familiar feeling, a familiar aura, and a familiar gaze. Jiang Chen had been waiting for this moment for far too long. However, he never expected that it would be at this moment. They were facing a life-and-death situation. What he could give her was simply too little. What he owed her was still far in the future. "Little Chenzi, I missed you." Wu Ningzhu's words made Jiang Chen speechless. This sentence had already filled his heart with satisfaction, but it was also filled with guilt. "From today onwards, no one will be able to hurt you, not even by a hair," Jiang Chen said firmly. Wu Ningzhu smiled and nodded silently. "Sister Ning, it's great to see you again." Yan Qingqing also appeared beside Jiang Chen. Wu Ningzhu was also very surprised. She held Yan Qingqing's hand. The joy in her heart was overflowing. "Gentle as water. It's really enviable. It's a pity that an indecisive man will never be able to enter the Hall of Elegance," the second palace master said with a cold smile. His gaze was directed at Jiang Chen. "Take good care of Sister Ning." Jiang Chen looked at the two girls and said softly, "Jiang Chen, be careful." Wu Ningzhu and Yan Qingqing said at the same time. They both hoped that Jiang Chen could return safely. However, the second palace master was really too strong. If Jiang Chen went, it would be a battle of life and death. It was a battle of life and death. At this moment, when Jiang Chen turned around again, his aura had reached its peak. His anger had been completely unleashed. There was only one thought in Jiang Chen's mind, and that was to kill the second palace master. Tongxian Mansion must be destroyed. Chapter 3067. Sister Ning, don't worry. Our man is the strongest, Yan Qingqing said in a low voice. She was also comforting herself with this sentence. "If he's in trouble, how can I live alone?" Wu Ningzhu smiled faintly. No matter what he does, no matter what the outcome is, she will always be the woman who will stand behind him and support him silently. Yeah, he's our one and only. We have reason to believe in him. In this world, he's the only man that we can trust unconditionally. Yan Qingqing nodded. At this moment, Jiang Chen and the second mansion master were staring at each other. Their aura was rising constantly, especially Jiang Chen. The divine origin energy that he had consumed previously was recovering at a terrifying speed. He wanted to become stronger. He wanted to become the strongest person in Tongxian Mansion. He wanted to use the second mansion master's blood to comfort Sister Ning's wounded heart. Touching the reverse scale of a dragon would result in death. To Jiang Chen, the one he loved was his reverse scale. When a person was in despair, he would be able to unleash his incredible potential. At this moment, the anger in Jiang Chen's body was completely ignited. Compared to despair, he was even more furious. He would not let his beloved woman get hurt. So what if the second mansion master was a half-step divine emperor? Didn't the third mansion master still get killed by him? You should be proud that I can kill you with my own hands. It's a pity that my third brother's life was ended by you. One day, I will let him see the light of day again. As for you, you must be buried with him. If I can't defeat you, how can I be a hero? Tongxian Mansion deserves to die. And you shouldn't have used Sister Ning to threaten me. Jiang Chen shook his head. The surging blood and qi in his body had already turned into rays of blood light, soaring into the sky and pointing at the second mansion master. Brother Xueqi, is he confident? The second Mansion Master is a half-step divine emperor. He's much stronger than the third Mansion Master. Bai Yun looked at Long Xueqi and asked softly. Long Xueqi was stunned. He then shook his head and said, I'm not sure how many tricks little Chunzi has up his sleeves. But since he could kill the third Mansion Master, it means that his strength has grown to an unimaginable level. He has always liked to fight against those who are stronger than him. Even if he can't defeat the second Mansion Master, he shouldn't be too far away. Dragon Xueqi was still full of confidence in Jiang Chen. He was paying close attention to Jiang Chen at all times, because he didn't know when the second master would kill Jiang Chen. He couldn't let the second master get what he wanted. Once Jiang Chen was in danger, he would be the first to rush to Jiang Chen's aid. If it wasn't for him, Jiang Chen wouldn't have ended up like this. However, Dragon Xueqi wouldn't say this because they were brothers. Let's see what you're capable of. The second Mansion Master waved his hand and a silver feather fan appeared in his hand. Jiang Chen squinted his eyes. Even if this silver feather fan wasn't a primal origin treasure, it had already reached the level of a peak essence divine weapon. This fella seems to have a lot of treasures. I'll kill the danger before it's in the cradle. So, you won't have a chance. The second master knew that Jiang Chen was able to counterattack and kill his third brother. There was no doubt about Jiang Chen's strength. If he showed the slightest bit of negligence, he wouldn't be able to guarantee that he would be able to kill Jiang Chen quickly. Therefore, he had to end the battle as soon as possible. He immediately took out his divine weapon, the Mo feather fan. He wanted to kill Jiang Chen as fast as possible. You're thinking too much. What can a half-step divine emperor do to me? Jiang Chen sneered. He held the heavenly dragon sword in his hand and slashed through the thorns. The shadow of the sword cut through the void and Jiang Chen slashed down without hesitation. The 11th sword was swift and fierce, and the sword of solitude was fully displayed at this moment. Jiang Chen could even kill a peak hierarch realm expert without mercy. However, it was nothing in front of the second Mansion Master because his strength was not an ordinary half-step divine emperor. He had comprehended the opportunity of the divine emperor realm. As long as he was given enough time, it was possible for him to break through to the divine emperor realm and reach his eldest brother's realm. However, it wouldn't take long for the second Mansion Master to achieve this. Trash, your attack is just a joke to me. The second Mansion Master looked at Jiang Chen with disdain. He swung the Mou fan fiercely. A terrifying aura shook the void. Jiang Chen couldn't even walk in the void. The Mou fan disturbed the turbulence of the void and even produced countless wind blades. Jiang Chen frowned at the terrifying Mou fan. However, his sword chi intertwined with the terrifying wind blades and eventually turned into nothingness. Jiang Chen's other hand held the upturned drum tightly and punched out. Thunderous roars shook the sky. Experts from all directions covered their ears as a powerful sound wave attack spread out. The upturned drum was comparable to the second Mansion Master's Mou fan. Jiang Chen used the power of the upturned drum to counter the Mou fan. However, the countless wind blades and sonic booms kept advancing. Jiang Chen's sonic boom seemed insignificant because the wind blades of the second Mansion Master's Mou fan were too terrifying. The surrounding void was torn apart. That was the difference in strength. If Jiang Chen was a half-step divine emperor, he would not be any weaker than the second Mansion Master when he used the upturned drum. However, his strength was greatly restricted. However, at this moment, Jiang Chen's upturned drum could not suppress the second Mansion Master at all. I've said it before. You're not my opponent. The second Mansion Master was still indifferent towards Jiang Chen. It was too easy for him to kill Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen focused his gaze and held the cold river stone in his hand. Currently, he could use the cold river stone. As soon as the primordial origin treasure weapon appeared, everyone was shocked. Countless people fixed their eyes on Jiang Chen's hand. Even the second Mansion Master was no exception. Because Jiang Chen's cold river stone was too terrifying. That kind of terrifying cold chi made everyone shudder. The meaning that came from the depths of their hearts was the scariest. This is a primordial origin treasure? This Jiang Chen is too scary. This primal origin treasure is so scary. That's right. The cold chi is overwhelming. This is definitely a peerless emperor weapon. Otherwise, how could an ordinary divine weapon have such terrifying power? This Jiang Chen is simply a super abnormal monster. He's a monster. If we don't kill him, Tongxian Mansion will definitely be implicated. Tongxian Mansion will be in danger. Look, that great Emperor Divine weapon actually withstood the second Mansion Master's attack. Everyone fixed their eyes on Jiang Chen. The cold river stone in his hand had also become the focus of everyone's attention. The second Mansion Master's eyes also became extremely cold after the cold river stone made 2 seals in a row. What a good cold river stone. It's indeed a peerless Emperor weapon. It seems like you've specially come to give me a treasure. Chapter 3068. The second Mansion Master's facial expression changed as he continued to use the Moyu fan's power. However, it was to no avail. Jiang Chen struck out another seal and the heavens and earth changed color. After reaching the Hierarch realm, Jiang Chen was able to use the cold river stone much more effortlessly. After all, the cold river stone was the destructive ice god's natal divine weapon. Jiang Chen was not surprised at all that it had such power. However, the second Mansion Master was not an easy opponent. The Moyu fan was completely useless in front of Jiang Chen's cold river stone. At this moment, the second Mansion Master was even more determined to use his true strength. I must get this cold river stone. The second Mansion Master swore in his heart. The cold river stone was too terrifying. Even he had to avoid it. Extreme 5 lightnings. The second Mansion Master's eyes were cold. His palms were constantly changing. The thunderbolt palm print broke through the sky like a divine palm descending from the heavens. One palm after another, the thunderbolts shook the mountains and rivers, causing great pressure to Jiang Chen. Even though the second Mansion Master could control the heavenly lightning, he still did not dare to be careless. After all, the second Mansion Master's strength was much stronger than his. The extreme 5 lightnings was like a divine palm that could destroy the heavens. It descended from the heavens and forced Jiang Chen to retreat. Even the cold river stone in his hand was trembling. Jiang Chen only managed to stabilize his body after he had dissolved most of the 5 lightnings. The might of a half-step divine emperor was fully revealed at this moment. The second Mansion Master did not show any mercy. He began to use the extreme 5 lightnings to bombard Jiang Chen. At this moment, Long Shersan finally took action. He could not let Jiang Chen handle it alone. Bastard! Don't be so arrogant. Long Shersan had turned into a battle maniac. He swept his staff horizontally and smashed down. Streaks of extreme 5 lightnings were smashed down by Long Shersan's giant stone staff. However, Long Shersan and Jiang Chen's staff shadows and sword shadows continued to overlap, but they were still unable to block the second Mansion Master's attack. The swift and fierce extreme 5 lightnings were even more bizarre than the descent of heaven's lightning. The extreme 5 lightnings was one of the second Mansion Master's most powerful techniques. Loser, I didn't kill you because I wanted to lure Jiang Chen here. Do you still want to act so arrogantly in my hands? Dream on. The Deputy Prefecture Lord's palm winds rose again, and the sound was thunderous. Long Shersan, clad in his immortal slaying battle armor, took 3 palm strikes from the Deputy Prefecture Lord. He was barely able to stand up straight, but he had already suffered another serious injury. Layers upon layers of staff shadows were not to be outdone. Even though he knew that he was no match for the Deputy Prefecture Lord, he still wanted to cause him a lot of trouble. Jiang Chen's expression darkened. Long Shersan was injured, which made his anger rise again. 9 Supreme Saint Bones Pill. 1 pill turning into 9 Supremes. At this moment, Jiang Chen activated the 9 Supreme Saint Bones Pill in his body. Jiang Chen's strength rose to the peak at this moment, and split into 9. 9 Jiang Chens appeared at this moment. Everyone was dumbfounded. 9 Jiang Chens, 9 incomparably powerful auras soared to the sky. 9 Jiang Chens, the real Jiang Chen. Even Wu Ningzhu and Yan Qingqing couldn't tell which one was the real one. All 9 of them held the heavenly dragon sword in their hands, and their silhouettes were exactly the same. 9 Supreme Saint Bones Pill. 1 pill turning into 9 Supremes. The power of 9 Supremes surpasses the heavens. Doppelganger? You're still too inexperienced to play this game with me. Second Palace Master snorted coldly. From his point of view, Jiang Chen only created a few doppelgangers. However, the 9 doppelgangers had already turned into 9 rapid silhouettes. Wherever Jiang Chen passed, his body and mind would become a prophecy. 9 doppelgangers wasn't accurate, because every single one of them was his original body. This was the power of the 9 Supreme Saint Bones Pill. Every single doppelganger was the original body, And every single doppelganger was the same as Jiang Chen's. Just think about it. There were 9 Jiang Chens. Their techniques and auras were like dragons. At this moment, he was completely unafraid of the second palace master's powerful attack. 9 doppelgangers as 1 doppelganger as 9. Every single doppelganger was the same as Jiang Chen's. The extreme 5 lightnings transformation rumbled, and a terrifying aura swept over. Jiang Chen was as unmoving as a mountain, and the 9 doppelgangers attacked at the same time. The most important thing was that when the 9 doppelgangers stacked together, they were like one entity. Because he knew that Jiang Chen had a little weakness. He knew that Jiang Chen was strong and weak, and he also knew how much power each doppelganger could unleash. 9 Jiang Chens shattered the second palace master's extreme 5 lightnings transformation. At this moment, the second palace master already felt a trace of danger. This fellow, there was definitely something strange about him. The 9 Supreme Saint Bones pill was equivalent to 9 doppelgangers of himself. They were not weakened at all, and it was not something that could be changed by a doppelganger. The superposition of 9 Jiang Chens was enough to change many things. Not only did it increase his strength, but it was also a kind of unparalleled aura. Jiang Chen could feel that he could transform into 9 doppelgangers. With just a thought, the 9 doppelgangers could combine into one. The 9 doppelgangers possessed all of his strength and techniques. This was the most terrifying thing. However, the 9 Supreme Saint Bones pill could only be used 9 times. Moreover, every time it was used, his strength would be greatly damaged, and it would take a very long time to recover. He did not know how long it would take for him to recover his strength. The most depressing thing was that it could only be used in the hierarch realm. Once Jiang Chen stepped into the hierarch realm, the medicinal effect of the pill would disappear. Although the 9 Supreme Saint Bones pill was terrifying, it was not invincible. However, at this moment, when Jiang Chen faced the second palace master again, his strength had reached an unprecedented level. He was full of battle intent. Wherever he looked, his chi could control the universe. The prestige of the 9 Supreme Saint Bones pill made everyone's expression change. "Today is the day of your death," Jiang Chen said coldly. The 9 doppelgangers soared up to the sky. That kind of powerful aura made Jiang Chen feel a trace of great Tao aura. 1 doppelganger might not be enough to form great Tao aura, but 9 doppelgangers were different. Although Jiang Chen's Tao aura was negligible, when the 9 doppelgangers overlapped, it could still make Jiang Chen feel a trace of Tao aura. That trace of Tao aura was the foundation that supported Jiang Chen's great Tao cultivation. However, the 9 Supreme Saint Bones pill turned into 9 doppelgangers. It was no longer 1 + 1 + 1. The impact of the aura gave the second palace master a great pressure. 9 doppelgangers against a half-emperor. Their aura was enough to swallow mountains and rivers. Jiang Chen's oppressive aura had already made the second palace master breathless. To Jiang Chen, the 9 doppelgangers were just one person, but he could control the power of the 9 doppelgangers. If it was a doppelganger, it would not be able to perfectly coordinate with each doppelganger's changes to the original body. However, with these 9 doppelgangers, Jiang Chen was the real ruler. Each doppelganger was a ruler. The 9 doppelgangers of Jiang Chen did not have any formation. They kept bombarding the second palace master, forcing the second palace master to retreat. Such a terrifying scene had shocked everyone. Even Long Shersan, Xueqi and the others were speechless. 9 Supreme Saint Bones repelled a half-emperor. It was too shocking. Moreover, Jiang Chen's strength was only at the early hierarch realm. Jiang Chen's storm-like attacks overwhelmed the second palace master, causing him to fall into a passive position. Jiang Chen did not show any mercy. With the power of the 9 doppelgangers, he fought against the peak of the firmament. His murderous intent was unstoppable. Chapter 3069. 9 Clones. What kind of demonic technique did Jiang Chen use? How could it be so terrifying? Yeah, it's hard to imagine that he has such a powerful technique. Early hierarch realm. Is he really just an early hierarch realm expert? His cloning technique is so terrifying that even a half-step divine emperor is afraid. It's not easy. Is Tongxian Mansion going to be defeated? Believe in the second mansion master. He will definitely be able to turn the situation around. How can a mere Jiang Chen reverse the situation of Tongxian Mansion? Countless people silently watched the scene. The second mansion master was in a critical situation. Tongxian Mansion was in a precarious situation. Many people did not know what would happen to Tongxian Mansion. Many people were even worried about the second Mansion Master's current situation. Jiang Chen's powerful attack had greatly shocked them. The invincible image of Tongxian Mansion had gradually shaken the hearts of the students. They could only see Jiang Chen's unstoppable attack. 9 clones had shaken the world. This was a real battle. Domineering. Invincible. This is definitely not a clone. If it's a clone, it's impossible to defeat the second Mansion Master. Lin Yokong's heart was extremely solemn. Only true experts like them could see that these were not Jiang Chen's clones. Each of Jiang Chen's strength was perfectly compatible with each other without any weaknesses. Their attacks were completely different, but they were all the same. Each of these 9 clones could kill him. How could Lin Yukong not be shocked? This was a technique that he had never seen before. He could only sigh and hope that the second Mansion Master could find a way to fight back in this desperate situation. Xueqi squinted his eyes and the smile at the corner of his lips became even more brilliant. Only he knew that this was the 9 Supreme Saint Bones pill that Jiang Chen had concocted previously. He didn't expect this divine pill to have such an effect. No wonder even Jiang Chen wasn't sure if he could successfully concoct it. At the last moment, despite Han Wanshan's attack, Jiang Chen still persisted until he finished concocting the pill. 9 Supreme Saint Bones Dan. 1 Dan turning into 9 venerables. A half-step deity emperor, who says he can't fight. Xueqi knew that at this moment, Jiang Chen's victory was already in his grasp. This was his true technique. Everyone thought that Jiang Chen would definitely lose, but Jiang Chen's technique had shocked everyone once again. Xueqi felt that there was an insurmountable moat between him and Jiang Chen. It was no different than ascending to the heavens for him to defeat Jiang Chen, who had refined the 9 Supreme Saint Bones pill. But Xueqi was happy for Jiang Chen. They finally saw the hope of winning this battle. 3000 Flaming Sky Seal. 11th Sword. 5 Elements Divine Dragon Seal. Sword of Solitude. Separate from the world. Cold River Stone. Freeze heaven and earth. Heavenly Lightning Fusion. The 9 original bodies of Jiang Chen continued to attack. Even a deity emperor would be defeated. The second Mansion Master's expression changed continuously. The 9 Jiang Chens attacked together. That kind of power made the heavens and earth tremble. The second Mansion Master was exhausted. The second Master was exhausted from dealing with Jiang Chen's attacks. He was completely suppressed by Jiang Chen. If he wanted to counterattack, he would be forced into a passive position. Lightning flashed. Flames soared to the sky, and the divine dragon roared. Jiang Chen's momentum was like a peerless god. Incomparable. What a good Jiang Chen. Today, I will fight you to the death. 5 Thunder's Sacrifice. The second Mansion Master's expression was solemn. The aura in his hands had also condensed to a terrifying peak. That kind of invincible power made the experts in all directions look gloomy. They kept retreating. The collision between Jiang Chen and the second Mansion Master was like a meteorite exploding. The brilliance was dazzling. Your power is not enough to destroy my 9 supreme strength. Jiang Chen sneered. He did not care about the second Mansion Master's momentum at all. Instead, he charged forward bravely. Because Jiang Chen gradually realized the true horror of the 9 Supreme Saint Bones elixir. Although it could not increase his supreme strength, it was already quite terrifying to have 9 supremes. After all, this was not something a clone could compare to. The 9 Supremes had the complete thoughts and techniques of Jiang Chen, so it was incomparable. However, the most terrifying thing was the 9 Supremes formation. The 9 Supremes formation, as the name suggested, was the fusion of formations. One of Jiang Chen's most powerful techniques was formations, and the 9 Supremes could fuse into a formation. This formation was different from puppets. If it was a puppet, Jiang Chen could control it with a single thought. However, the 9 Supremes formation could perfectly accommodate all the flaws of Jiang Chen's formation. It could be said that under a situation where the opponent's strength far exceeded his own, the 9 Supremes formation was the best way to attack and defend. However, the consumption was also abnormally high. The 9 Supreme Saint Bones elixir consumed Jiang Chen's divine origin energy and the medicinal effects of the 9 Supreme Saint Bones elixir. Therefore, he could still bear such a huge consumption. Otherwise, the 9 Supremes formation would naturally be powerful. But the terrifying power required would also require Jiang Chen to support it alone. 9 Supremes Demon Subduing Formation. Jiang Chen's formation was at his fingertips. He had already comprehended a lot of the no-beginning formation. However, if he wanted to fully comprehend the no-beginning formation, he would at least need to reach the Divine Emperor realm. Now, Jiang Chen could only say that he had comprehended 30% of the no-beginning formation. However, 108,000 formations was just too much for Jiang Chen. The Nine Supremes demon subduing formation had unleashed the power of the Nine Supremes to the extreme. The second Mansion Master could not resist it at all. The Five Thunders ritual was also suppressed by the Nine Supremes demon subduing formation. The second Mansion Master retreated step by step and his injuries became more and more serious. His long hair was disheveled and fluttered in the wind. Blood stained the sky. If this goes on, the second Mansion Master will definitely lose. Could it be that my Tongxian Mansion is really going to be defeated? This is impossible. This guy is a monster. How could the second Mansion Master lose to him? The second Mansion Master's decline was extremely obvious. Now that Shuel Yang and Long San were fighting against the people of Tongxian Mansion again, their aura was greatly suppressed. Lin Yukong, the Great Elder and the others were very passive because they did not know if the second Mansion Master would be defeated. If the second Mansion Master were to lose, they would lose the initiative and become prisoners of war. Who would have thought that their insufferably arrogant Tongxian Mansion would be defeated by an early Hierarch Realm kid? Although the Great Mansion Master was not here, the second Mansion Master and third Mansion Master's strength was not to be underestimated. However, they were still losing and the situation was very dangerous. Die! Jiang Chen took a step forward and performed the Azure Dragon's 5 steps, walking in the void. The Nine Supremes were oppressing and the second Mansion Master was once again besieged by Jiang Chen. He was forced to retreat with one palm strike. The second Mansion Master had already lost his initial battle intent and was now completely restrained by Jiang Chen. 9 Supremes returned to 1. Jiang Chen struck 9 palm strikes in a row and the second Mansion Master was forced to retreat continuously. Blood spurted out from his mouth and he was finally defeated. His face was pale and a little ugly. Because he was heavily injured and could not do anything. The entire Tongxian Mansion was in an uproar. They did not know how to describe Jiang Chen's strength. They did not know how to describe their feelings at that moment because Jiang Chen had defeated the second Mansion Master and the third Mansion Master. He had defeated the strongest expert of Tongxian Mansion. Their ending would definitely not be good. My man is always the strongest. Chapter 3070. Yan Qingqing's eyes brightened. Jiang Chen managed to injure the second Mansion Master with the power of the 9 Supremes. Now, Jiang Chen's face was pale. Although the 9 Supreme Saint Bones pellet was extremely powerful, the side effect was that his strength was being devoured too much. Even if it was only a part of his divine origin energy, Jiang Chen would not be able to hold on for long. Yeah, he has never let us down. Wu Ningzhu smiled faintly, calming herself down. At that moment, her heart was at ease. Knowing that he was still alive and safe, she was satisfied. You've lost. Tongxian Mansion must perish. Jiang Chen looked at the second Mansion Master Lang Lang. You're strong indeed. You've transformed into 9 Supremes. I've never heard of it before. You've surpassed your doppelgangers and are extremely powerful. Looks like I've underestimated you. However, do you really think that you can destroy my Tongxian Mansion? You're too naive. The second Mansion Master wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and said coldly. Although he had lost, he was not willing to admit that everything was over. You don't have a chance anymore. A loss is a loss. You will die just like your third brother and become an eternal part of history. The profound connection Divine Palace will also be washed away in the long river of history and eventually be erased. Jiang Chen said in a deep voice. The second Mansion Master and Tongxian Mansion had long lost their qualification to be strong. Everyone in Tongxian Mansion was in danger, but he only cared about his own benefits. The existence of Tongxian Mansion was just a pretense for his own benefit. Their goal was to fuse the Heaven Thunder Crystal and the Earth Fire Crystal completely. Only then could their strength be enhanced. And the price was to let the students of Tongxian Mansion continue to refine the Origin Crystal for them for millions of years, providing them with endless Origin energy. Is that so? I think it's too early for you to be happy. The second Mansion Master sneered. His eyes were cold as he looked at the void above the 9th heaven. Doqing, since you're already here, just come out. Why do you have to wait until the moment of life and death? Could it be that you'll only be satisfied after I die? Jiang Chen's eyes narrowed. Everyone's hearts trembled. The second palace master's words made them feel that something was amiss. Ha ha ha, I haven't seen you for so many years, but you're still the same. You still have that indignant look on your face. It's not like I owe you anything. Ha! A hearty laughter reverberated in the sky. A green-robed figure appeared in the sky. His eyes were like torches as he glanced at the surroundings. He smiled calmly and calmly. The azure-robed man was the Do Qing that the second mansion master had mentioned. Battle God Clan? Jiang Chen frowned. He could already feel the opponent's terrifying aura. This guy's strength was definitely not weaker than the second mansion master. The most terrifying thing was that there were two people behind him. Their strength had actually reached the half-step divine emperor realm. Haha, even an early hierarch realm fella defeated you. Looks like you've really regressed over the years. Do Qing said with a smile. He looked at Jiang Chen without any joy or sorrow, because he did not put Jiang Chen in his eyes at all. Don't be sarcastic. Do Qing, help me kill this guy first. Otherwise, I won't be satisfied even in my dreams. The second mansion master said in a deep voice. Haha, don't say it if you don't want to say it. But this time, we've gained a lot. Thanks to you for reminding me, the ancestors of our Battle God clan have returned to their homeland. Do Qing smiled faintly, showing that he was a madman. The second mansion master sneered in his heart. If I knew that was the tomb of the immortal execution great emperor, would I have told you? However, at this moment, it was too late to say anything. The only thing they could do now was to kill Jiang Chen, the bastard. Otherwise, the second mansion master would not let it go, as the third mansion master had already died in Jiang Chen's hands. He should be the one who secretly learned our Battle God clan's sect guarding treasure, right? Do Qing looked at Jiang Chen again. His eyes were filled with killing intent. The people of the Battle God clan prohibited the spread of their clan's secret technique, the Do formation technique. This was also the secret that allowed the Battle God clan to prosper for so many years. Although they could not be compared to the Battle God clan in the ancient times, in the era when countless experts and clans were gradually declining, the Battle God clan relied on the Do formation technique to pass down to this day. It was irreplaceable. Therefore, the people of the Battle God clan attached great importance to the Do formation technique. No one was allowed to learn the Do formation technique. When the Battle God clan got the news, they were quite angry. Even the people of the Battle God clan had died in the hands of Jiang Chen several times. This made them even angrier and more hateful towards this guy who secretly learned the Battle God clan's secret technique. At this time, Do Qing's friend, the second mansion master of Tongxian Mansion, happened to appear in his sight. It was also because of their relationship that the people of the Battle God clan were able to enter the tomb of the great emperor. In the end, it could be said that the people of the Battle God clan had a great harvest in the tomb of the great emperor. The corpses of the supreme experts of the Battle God clan were of great significance to the Battle God clan. At this moment, they naturally would not let Jiang Chen go. Moreover, this time, they were helping the people of Tongxian Mansion. It could be said that they were killing two birds with one stone. The Battle God clan would never allow anyone to swindle people under the guise of the Battle God clan. Obviously, he came for Jiang Chen. The Battle God clan should not have any good things. Jiang Chen said, Lung Lung. You are about to die, but you are still so arrogant and despotic. What a pity. Hee hee, people like you are destined to die soon. Do Qing shook his head and sighed. I am afraid that you do not have the ability to do so. Jiang Chen and Do Qing looked at each other. Both of them were not willing to show weakness. Do Qing laughed and the coldness in his eyes became even colder. Arrogant boy, even if the gods come down to earth today, they will not be able to save you. Do Qing suddenly released his aura. Terrifying thunder exploded in the clear sky. Countless people at the peak of the void stopped in their tracks. The experts of the Battle God clan were the greatest saviors of their Tongxian Mansion. Jiang Chen, you should just surrender. Humph, otherwise, you will die a graveless death and your soul will be destroyed. At this moment, the second mansion master was getting colder and colder. Since the reinforcements had arrived, why would he be afraid of Jiang Chen? Could a guy who was struggling at death's door turn the situation around in Tongxian Mansion? What a joke. This bastard actually found such powerful helpers, and there are 3 of them at once. Oh my, 3 half-step divine emperors. This is heaven-defying. Looks like Tongxian Mansion will not be destroyed. Ha! This is too shocking. Another 3 half-step divine emperors. Our Tongxian mansion is finally saved. Damn you, Jiang Chen. So what if you are strong? With the help of the experts of the Battle God clan, let's see how you are going to escape. To the experts of Tongxian mansion, Jiang Chen's strength was definitely not satisfactory. Because once Tongxian mansion falls, they would all scatter. This was their base. If Jiang Chen failed, it would not affect them at all. Every man for himself. So what if Jiang Chen was strong? No one hoped that Jiang Chen would be stronger than them. Chapter 3071. 4 Half-Step Divine Emperors, 4. Xueqi said with a bitter smile. Xueqi said with a bitter smile. He felt a sense of helplessness and despair. 4 half-step divine emperors were not something that they could fight against. 1 half-step divine emperor was enough to make them anxious. Moreover, the second master's strength was undeniably strong. Even though Jiang Chen had defeated the second master, his strength had been greatly reduced. Now that there were 3 experts that were not weaker than the second master, their situation was getting more and more dangerous. Qing Tian, from today onwards, perhaps we will never see each other again. Qian Renji murmured. That kind of despair came from the bottom of her heart. Who could fight against 4 half-step divine emperors at the same time? Even Jiang Chen could not do it. Even if he could transform into 9, how many of them could he fight against? Jiang Chen was strong. But what about them? Once Jiang Chen failed, they would be wiped out mercilessly like the autumn wind sweeping away the fallen leaves. Tongxian Mansion's strength was on par with theirs. Once external forces joined in, they would not stand a chance at all. The appearance of the 3 experts of the Battle God clan gave the second mansion master a boost of confidence. It also made Jiang Chen and the others' mood fall to the bottom. This kind of strength was not something that Jiang Chen could turn around and turn the tide. Brother Shersan. Bai Yun looked at Long Shersan and said in a low voice. She did not want Long Shersan to die here. However, she could see that the relationship between Long Shersan and He Tu was very good. They were brothers who could go through life and death together. It was absolutely impossible for Long Shersan to leave at this moment. However, she could not change Long Shersan's mind. At this moment, she was struggling in the depths of her heart and it was extremely complicated. If Jiang Chen is here, I will be here. If Jiang Chen is not here, I, Long Shersan, will fight till the last moment, even if I die. Long Shersan said coldly. He looked at Jiang Chen. This was his trust towards his brother. This was his last promise. This was his unwavering determination. Bai Yun knew that she could not change the current situation. She would accompany him through thick and thin. That was her thought. As long as she was here, she would not let Long Shersan fall so easily. The second palace master did not expect the Battle God clan to send out 3 half-step divine emperor experts at the same time. Initially, Do Qing was the only one who came to support the Profound Connection Divine Palace. However, there were 3 of them. The second palace master was shocked and shocked. If it wasn't for his big brother, the Profound Connection Divine Palace would be helpless in front of the Battle God clan. Brat, your time of death has come. We will take back everything that belongs to the Battle God clan. Do Qing harumphed coldly with a serious expression. He was selfish. He did not believe that Jiang Chen did not bring anything out from the great emperor's tomb. As long as he killed Jiang Chen and brought him away, he would definitely get a great harvest. According to Do Tianhuang's report, Jiang Chen's foundation was very deep. Although he was not an hierarch, he had a lot of things in his hands. Let's see how you are going to defeat me. Jiang Chen stood proudly, facing the 4 half-step divine emperors. Even though he knew that his chances of survival were slim, he still could not afford to fall down. Because once he fell down, the people behind him would be in danger too. Accept your death. Don't be arrogant in your next life. Do Qing's attack was as fast as lightning, approaching Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen held his saber horizontally. Even though he knew that he was no match for Do Qing, he still wanted to fight until the last moment. He turned into 9 Supremes and the 9 Supremes formed a formation to fight against Do Qing. Do Qing's expression changed when he saw the scene. However, he knew how powerful Jiang Chen's 9 Supremes were. Previously, the second prefecture master was defeated by Jiang Chen's 9 Supremes. Do Qing's terrifying palm technique was like a bolt from the blue, clashing with Jiang Chen's 9 Supremes. The heavens and earth trembled, and the wind howled. Jiang Chen and Do Qing were evenly matched. The mightiness of the Nine Supremes made Dou Qing feel pressured, and this was under the condition that Jiang Chen's strength was still damaged. Although Dou Qing had yet to unleash all of his skills, a series of waves surged in his heart. The shock that Jiang Chen had given him was too great. Everyone, act quickly and suppress this fiend, Dou Qing said in a deep voice. The second prefecture master and a half-step divine emperor behind him joined the battle without hesitation. Jiang Chen was instantly suppressed by the trio's attacks. The might of the Nine Supremes was strong, but it was like a cup of water in the face of three half-step divine emperors. Jiang Chen's strength was greatly restricted, even reduced. It was difficult for the Nine Supremes to display their godly prowess. His situation was getting more and more dangerous. 5 Thunder's sacrificial rite. Battle God destructive strike. The trio continued to press forward. Jiang Chen's heavenly dragon swords might soared in the sky, shattering the sword in all directions. However, it still could not stop the 3 half-step divine emperors. Jiang Chen was forced into a passive position. Finally, the 9 Supremes were all repelled. Jiang Chen also felt powerless. Little Chunzi. Wu Ningzhu bit her red lips and said. She held Yan Qingqing's hand tightly. Both of their hearts were gripped tightly, fearing that Jiang Chen would be in danger. Little Chunzi, I'm here to help you, Long Shan roared. The anger in his heart turned into unparalleled battle intent as he charged towards Dou Qing and the others. However, the other half-step divine emperor came forward and repelled Long Shan with his unparalleled divine staff. Long Shan did not give way at all. Their battle became fiercer and fiercer. The unparalleled divine staff was invincible, but he still could not withstand the might of a half-step divine emperor. Long Shan was forced back step by the half-step divine emperor. White Cloud quickly joined in and fought with Long Shan against the half-step divine emperor expert of the Battle God clan. However, the opponent was too strong. Long Shan was already severely injured and could no longer display his heaven-defying might. Although the unparalleled divine staff and the battle saint technique were unparalleled, the opponent did not give him a chance. If this goes on, although Long Shan would not be completely suppressed, it would be impossible for him to save Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen's situation was getting more and more dangerous. At this moment, the second palace master turned around and attacked Xueqi and the others. After all, with the help of the second palace master, the 2 half-step divine emperors were crushing everything in their way. No one could withstand the might of a half-step divine emperor. Perhaps only the 7 heavenly gods of the dragon riders were able to hold their ground. The rest of the people had suffered varying degrees of injuries. At this moment, everyone's life was hanging by a thread. Jiang Chen was completely pinned down by the 2 half-step divine emperors. The 9 Supremes were forced back and merged into one. Under the severe injuries, Jiang Chen's divine origin energy was not enough to make up for the loss. However, the ones he was most worried about were Long Shan, Wu Ningzhu, Yan Qingqing, Xueqi, Qian Renji, and those who should not have been involved in this life-and-death battle. Only Long Shan, Bai Yun, and Xueqi were able to maintain their condition. However, this time, the second palace master's target was once again Wu Ningzhu and Yan Qingqing. Boy, let's see how you are going to save your lovers. Ha! The second palace master sneered and rushed towards the 2. Yan Qingqing and Wu Ningzhu were severely injured by the second palace master's attack. They were not a match for the second palace master at all. Bastard! Long Shan rushed towards Jiang Chen, Wu Ningzhu, and Yan Qingqing. They were the people that little Chunzi cared about the most. If they died, little Chunzi would regret it for the rest of his life. This matter started because of him. Long Shan would never let anyone hurt them. Get lost. Chapter 3072. Jiang Chen looked at this scene silently, but there was nothing he could do. He had tried his best, but the opponent was too strong. If it was the second prefecture master or the third prefecture master, Jiang Chen wouldn't have been defeated so easily. However, who would have thought that the second prefecture master had called for reinforcements? 3 half-step divine emperors of the Battle God clan. This was even stronger than the Tongxian mansion, at least before the great prefecture master returned. Jiang Chen was already struggling to move forward, but the situation of Xueqi and the others was even more dangerous. Jiang Chen knew that he had to make a decision now. Otherwise, everyone here would be dragged to death, which was not what Jiang Chen wanted to see. Jiang Chen was constantly being pushed back by the 2 half-step divine emperors. His face was extremely pale, but he was worried about Long San, Wu Ningzhu and the others. Otherwise, if he was defeated, everyone here would become history. Damned monkey, run! Jiang Chen glanced at Long San. Long San also looked at Jiang Chen and replied, I'm not leaving. If we don't leave, everyone will die. Bring Sister Ning and Qingqing along. Leave now. Jiang Chen shouted. Long San was slightly stunned. He had mixed feelings. Jiang Chen's words were filled with helplessness. He knew that Jiang Chen had tried his best, but the opponent's half-step Divine Emperor was too strong. They had no chance to turn the situation around. The experts of the Battle God clan had joined in, which was the greatest pressure on them. The second prefecture master was like a fish in the water. The third prefecture master was killed by Jiang Chen. He would not let anyone off. Want to leave? Can you? Humph. The second mansion lord sneered. He no longer planned to give Long San and the others any chance. This time, he was going straight for Yan Qingqing and Wu Ningzhu, because he knew that these two women held an extraordinary position in Jiang Chen's heart. How could he achieve great things with such sentiments? However, it was impossible for him to achieve anything even if he wanted to. This is the moment. The second mansion master's palm, the extreme 5 thunders, locked onto Wu Ningzhu. Jiang Chen executed the Azure Dragon's 5 steps and the Great Void technique to the extreme, clashing directly with the second mansion master. He withstood the second mansion master's palm and saved Wu Ningzhu. Little Chenzi! Wu Ningzhu and Yan Qingqing cried out in alarm, grabbing Jiang Chen's hands. Their faces were filled with worry. If Jiang Chen had been a second slower, Wu Ningzhu might have become a ghost in the hands of the second mansion master. Want to run? You won't have the chance. Dou Qing shouted angrily and chased after Jiang Chen. Even he was shocked by the Great Void technique. However, no one expected that Jiang Chen could block the second mansion master's path with such a ferocious speed. Go. I'll stop them. Jiang Chen said in a deep voice, staring at Wu Ningzhu and Yan Qingqing. No, if we leave together. If we die together. Yan Qingqing and Wu Ningzhu said in unison. They would rather die than abandon Jiang Chen. How can I bear to let you die? Jiang Chen smiled and sent the two of them into the Zulong Tower. At the same time, Qian Renji, Bing Yun, and the people of the Lihuan sect were also sent into the Zulong Tower by Jiang Chen. No, little Chenzi, don't. Yan Qingqing's tears fell like rain, her eyes almost popping out of their sockets. Jiang Chen, you bastard! Wu Ningzhu's body trembled and almost fell to the ground. Everyone in the Zulong Tower was looking at this scene. They didn't expect Jiang Chen to be so decisive. Damned monkey! Don't let me down. Take them away! Jiang Chen pushed the Zulong Tower towards Long San at lightning speed. At that moment, Long San's eyes were filled with tears. His bloodshot eyes were constantly enlarging in his pupils. Long San and Jiang Chen looked at each other. Jiang Chen knew that he would do that. Long San also understood that he had no other choice. If he was alone, he would stay without any hesitation. However, there were still Wu Ningzhu and Yan Qingqing in the Zulong Tower. If he couldn't leave with Jiang Chen's will, how could he be considered as Jiang Chen's brother? However, if he were to leave now, he would have to bear an unparalleled pressure. He was not afraid of death, but he was afraid of losing his brother, Jiang Chen. Okay. Long San nodded silently. However, he felt that his words were extremely heavy. This was their only chance, and also the time when they had to do this. Xueqi glanced at Jiang Chen with eyes full of indifference. Did he really make up his mind? Xueqi, protect them and leave for me. I can't let them die here with me. Xueqi could see the helplessness in Jiang Chen's eyes. However, he had no other choice. He wanted to stay and fight side by side with Jiang Chen. However, how could Long San resist the waves of attacks from behind Tongxian Mansion? You are the only person that I admire in my life. Xueqi looked at Jiang Chen. He could leave easily and no one could stop him. With the help of the Zulong Tower, he was at least invincible. With the Great Void technique, he could shake off the half-step Divine Emperors. However, if he left, the rest of them would all die. Xueqi and Long San suddenly looked back at Jiang Chen and left resolutely. The 7 dragon-riding heavenly guards guarded their backs, but the second mansion master and Dou Qing were still chasing after them, not giving them a chance to escape. Killing Jiang Chen alone was not enough to dispel the hatred in his heart. If you want to escape, you will have to see if I will let you escape. The second mansion master's eyes were as sharp as swords. He waved his hand and Lin Yukong and the Great Elder followed. Long Shersan and Xueqi were surrounded by enemies. Soul-snatching divine technique. Soul-killing soul. Jiang Chen's mind moved and the Emperor Realm's soul burst out in an instant. Even the 4 half-step divine emperors were shocked and quickly retreated. Jiang Chen's soul ripple was like a storm. Lin Yukong, the Great Elder, and the other late Hierarch Realm elders were all severely injured. Their soul fire was dying. Hundreds of experts below the mid-Hierarch Realm were all killed by Jiang Chen's soul-killing soul. Their souls were extinguished and the 100 experts died in an instant. However, Jiang Chen had used up too much of his sovereign realm soul this time, because he had just killed 100 venerables. It was a terrifying scene. A terrifying spiritual storm once again shocked the 4 half-step divine emperors. Such a terrifying soul power. If I wasn't prepared, I would have suffered serious injuries. Dou Qing took a deep breath and could not believe the scene in front of him. Of course, the one with the darkest expression was the second mansion master. Hundreds of Hierarch Realm experts were killed. In other words, none of the inner mansion experts of Tongxian Mansion were spared. The mentors and elders were all killed by Jiang Chen except for a few late Hierarch Realm elders. They thought that Jiang Chen was already extremely weak. Who would have thought that he could instantly kill hundreds of Hierarch Realm experts with his sudden burst of power? It was absolutely horrifying and shocking. Those Divine King Realm experts were shocked speechless at this moment. Jiang Chen could kill them as easily as taking something out of his pocket. Is this the power of a peerless expert that stands above the 9 heavens? As for him, he was just a student of Tongxian Mansion 100 years ago. Jiang Chen's attitude of being above the 9 heavens made everyone tremble. Jiang Chen. Chapter 3073. No! Yan Qingqing screamed with all her might. Her face was covered in blood and tears. When she saw this scene in the Zulong Tower, she had already cried her eyes out. Jiang Chen had turned the tide and brought everyone into the Zulong Tower. He asked Long Shersan and Xueqi to send them away. However, at this moment, her heart seemed to have fallen together with Jiang Chen. Wu Ningzhu was the same. She fell into the Zulong Tower and coughed out a mouthful of blood. Her face was pale and her eyes were filled with despair. Sister Ning. Yan Qingqing held Wu Ningzhu's hand. The despair in the two women's heart was different. They were both depending on each other. Jiang Chen's current situation was even more painful than death to them. Edited by Lifer Fingerfox. Why did this happen? Since I met little Chenzi again, why are you so unfair? Why? Wu Ningzhu's heart-wrenching voice made everyone feel the same way. That kind of sadness infected everyone. Bing Yun and Qian Renji felt the same way. Wu Ningzhu had been waiting for this moment for so long. However, they met in a hurry and left in a hurry. Time passed quickly and they parted in a hurry. No one could feel the despair in their hearts. They would rather be the one who fell than to see Jiang Chen bear everything alone. After losing the ancestral dragon pagoda, he had lost his last means to save his life. He had left the hope of survival to everyone else, but he was the only one who had embarked on a path of no return. Edited by Lifer Fingerfox. Do you think you're a hero? Jiang Chen, I will never forgive you. I will never. Yan Qingqing roared furiously. However, she could not change the despair and sadness in her heart. The last scene they saw was Jiang Chen being crushed by the 4 half-step divine emperors. His injuries were getting worse and worse. Even though he had used the 9 Supremes transformation, he could not resist the overwhelming momentum of the 4 half-step divine emperors. However, Jiang Chen was determined to hold everyone back. He even used his life to resist the attacks of the second mansion master and Dou Qing without hesitation. Jiang Chen said that the pills you guys took were not poisonous. It was just a smoke screen. I hope you guys will take care of yourselves in the future. Qian Renji said in a low voice. She was also extremely sad. Jiang Chen rushed forward for them. Even a divine emperor expert might not be able to defeat the 4 half-step divine emperors easily. Jiang Chen's chances of survival were extremely slim. There was not even the slightest bit of hope left. Those elders of the Lihuan sect who were severely injured looked at each other. They had been scheming and plotting their whole lives. However, They never thought that they would be fooled by a brat in the end. However, at this moment, there was no resentment in their hearts. There was only admiration for Jiang Chen. It meant that Jiang Chen did not really want to take their lives. For them, it was like a dream. It seems like we have underestimated Jiang Chen. Han Qiansuo sighed. He did not have the ability to save Jiang Chen. However, Jiang Chen's greatness made them admire him for their whole life. Long Shersan and Xueqi's eyes almost popped out of their sockets. They could only watch as Jiang Chen was mercilessly attacked. However, they could not do anything because they had to send Wu Ningzhu, Yan Qingqing and the others away. In this way, Jiang Chen would be able to stop the 4 half-step divine emperors. Otherwise, they would only die in front of so many people. It was supposed to be a bloody battle of life and death. However, the 3 great experts of the Battle God clan had obstructed them, causing them to fail. Of course, this could not be blamed on anyone. It could only mean that this second mansion master was too sinister and cunning. The Tongxian mansion unexpectedly invited other people to help them. What they did was extremely stupid. Long Shersan's eyes were bloodshot. He had come together with Jiang Chen and entered the divine world. They had met each other several times, but it was difficult for them to be together. They spent less time together than they were apart. They cultivated on their own. However, he did not expect that he would personally send his brother to his death. Long Shersan's heart was filled with anger and despair. However, he had to do what Jiang Chen said. He could not continue making mistakes. This is not your fault. Brother Shersan, don't blame yourself. Bai Yun said in a low voice. If it wasn't for my stubbornness, if it wasn't for my overestimation of my abilities, perhaps today's scene would not have happened. Long Shersan's breathing was heavy and rapid. Bai Yun saw the determination in his eyes. Her heart was filled with worry. Xueqi, take care of them for me. I can't watch Jiang Chen disappear in front of me. Long Shersan said in a deep voice. But, Xueqi's face tightened. At this moment, Long Shersan rushed out without hesitation toward the Tongxian mansion, which was already like a mountain of knives and a sea of fire. However, before Long Shersan could get too far, Bai Yun attacked him from behind. She directly used a secret technique to knock Long Shersan unconscious. Xueqi looked at Bai Yun in shock. Bai Yun shook her head and murmured. I'm sorry, Brother Shersan. I can't watch you die. Perhaps, this is also because Jiang Chen does not want you to bear the burden with him. Xueqi remained silent because he did not know what to say. Long Shersan should not turn back. Jiang Chen used his life to exchange for their safety. If he turned back without taking responsibility, it would be a waste of Jiang Chen's kind intentions. Most importantly, Wu Ningzhu and Yan Qingqing were still in danger. If he turned back, it would mean that he did not fulfill Jiang Chen's promise. I know that you'll blame me when you wake up, but I won't hesitate because even if you go back, it's useless. With your current strength, you won't be able to fight against 4 half-divine emperors. Bai Yun's words were true. But she knew that with Long Shersan's character, he would never forgive her when he woke up. But being alive was far more important than that. Jiang Chen had used his life and death situation to exchange for their chance to live, resisting the attacks of the 4 half-step divine emperors. How tragic was that? Jiang Chen was on the brink of death just for this chance to live. If it was Jiang Chen, he would never allow Dragon Shersan to do that. Long Shersan had already fainted. No one knew what he would do when he woke up. But at this moment, Bai Yun could not allow him to continue doing stupid things. All of this was exchanged with Jiang Chen's life. Hey Tu, I will always remember you. Bai Yun turned around and left. Xueqi and Long Shersan quickly left the Tongxian mansion. Chapter 3074. Puff! A mouthful of blood spurted out from Jiang Chen's mouth. His body was in a terrible state. His strength had been greatly damaged. He couldn't use the 9 venerables anymore. He was like an arrow at the end of its flight. All he could do was to keep retreating to buy time for Dragon Shersan and Wu Ningzhu to escape. In the end, he used the soul-exterminating technique, but it weakened him to the extreme. Currently, it was difficult for him to make any progress in terms of strength or soul realm. Jiang Chen was struggling to stand with his sword. He knelt down on one knee and his face was pale. He had already expected this scene. No matter how strong he was, he would not be a match for the 4 half-step divine emperors. Even the Zulong Tower, his last resort, was gone. Jiang Chen had no way out now. However, he had no choice but to do so. If he could not even protect his lover and brother, then what was the point of cultivating? Jiang Chen never thought that he had done anything wrong. On the contrary, this was his style. Although Wu Ningzhu and Yan Qingqing might blame him, he had no other choice. You are truly courageous and extremely righteous. Ha ha ha, looks like I have really underestimated you. You would rather use your death to exchange for your beloved and your brother. Even I am a little touched by this. Dou Qing smiled and looked at Jiang Chen. At this moment, Tongxian Mansion was in a mess. Although everyone managed to escape, they only had one target, Jiang Chen. As long as he was still alive, they would not lose the battle. It's not that easy to kill me. There are many people who want me dead. Who do you think you are? Jiang Chen stretched out his finger and gently wiped off the blood on the heavenly dragon sword. His cold eyes shone with a radiance as if he was facing death calmly. It was a battle with his back to the river. A fighter is a hero. Even if he were to die, he would drag someone down with him. You're still so stubborn when you're at death's door. If you hand over the inheritance of the immortal execution great sovereign, I might leave you with a whole corpse. Dou Qing said coldly. You're dreaming. Jiang Chen shook his head and looked at Dou Qing as though he was looking at an idiot. Good. Second master, if we don't kill him, we won't be able to quench our hatred. Dou Qing's words made the second master solemn. What he wanted was Jiang Chen's immortal execution's inheritance. However, this fella also wanted to snatch it away from him. The second master had made a mistake by telling them about the great sovereign's tomb, allowing them to find their ancestor. However, they were still not satisfied. These fellas obviously coveted the profound connection divine palace. If it wasn't for his big brother, they would have already taken action against the profound connection divine palace. The power of a divine emperor expert was not to be trifled with. Even the Battle God clan did not dare to ignore it. There was a huge difference between a half-step divine emperor and a divine emperor. A divine emperor expert could be called a peerless almighty, but a half-step divine emperor was nothing in front of a divine emperor expert. This was also the reason why the second master had been refining the heavenly lightning crystal for thousands of years. As long as he could fuse with the heavenly lightning crystal, he would have the chance to break through to the divine emperor realm. A divine emperor expert was the true almighty of the heavens and earth. Only a divine emperor expert was qualified to be called a peerless supreme expert. Now that his big brother was traveling around the world, Tongxian Mansion was much weaker than the Battle God clan. After all, they were in a disadvantageous position. Moreover, they had Dou Qing's help this time to save Tongxian Mansion. Otherwise, Jiang Chen might really destroy Tongxian Mansion. Brat, your time has come to an end. The second master took the lead and kept pressuring Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen held the heavenly dragon sword in his hand, putting up his last resistance. Sword shadows kept striking out, but he was forced to retreat again and again. Failure was not scary. What was scary was that after failing, he would never be able to stand up again. Battle God broken military strike. Dou Qing struck again. Jiang Chen did not have any means to defend himself. The four of them kept pushing him back. Jiang Chen gritted his teeth. His will was still holding on, but he could not hold on for much longer. Let's try everything we can. Eastern Emperor Bell, it's all up to you now. Jiang Chen did not have any other way. The Zulong Tower was taken away by Longsher San in order to save Jiang Chen. Now that he was trapped, he could not even save himself. He could only place his hope on the Eastern Emperor Bell. Although the Eastern Emperor Bell had lost the Great Emperor's aura, it was still a true peerless emperor weapon. It was even better than the Cold River Stone. The Eastern Emperor Bell was the most terrifying divine weapon in the immemorial era. The Eastern Emperor Taiyi was also one of the top rulers of that era. Jiang Chen placed his hope on the Eastern Emperor Bell. It was a desperate gamble because he really had no other way. Eastern Emperor Limitless Art. God Sealing Prohibition. Jiang Chen wanted to give it a try. However, the four half-step divine emperor's expressions changed. Because Jiang Chen's Eastern Emperor Bell was too tough. Even though it did not have the aura of a billion years ago, the Eastern Emperor Bell still managed to block their attacks. After all, it was a great emperor divine weapon from a billion years ago. Jiang Chen was delighted. The heavens did not want him dead. As long as he was not killed, there was still hope for him to live. Jiang Chen took a deep breath. At this moment, the life in his heart that was about to extinguish was reignited. What treasure is this? How can it be so tough? Dou Qing was in disbelief. The 4 half-step divine emperors could not even leave a mark on Jiang Chen's divine bell. Jiang Chen did not come out at all. It would be extremely difficult for them to kill Jiang Chen in the divine bell. I don't know. But such a terrifying divine bell should not be an ordinary item, the second palace lord said. His eyes lit up. Jiang Chen really has a lot of treasures. He's like a moving treasure vault. Of course, he thought that these divine weapons and treasures were obtained from the tomb of the immortal execution great emperor. After a round of bombardment, they still could not break Jiang Chen's divine bell. At this moment, Dou Qing and the rest were furious. Force him into the lightning-gathering peak. My big brother has set up the soul-devouring thunder-sealing formation there. I have my ways to force him into it. Dou Qing and the other 2 nodded. They continued to force Jiang Chen to retreat. Although they could not break the defense of the divine bell, Jiang Chen's strength was already extremely weak. It was not easy for him to withstand the power of the divine bell. Jiang Chen retreated step by step and was finally forced into the lightning-gathering peak. Everyone exclaimed. Jiang Chen was forced into the lightning-gathering peak. At this moment, the lightning-gathering peak was filled with violent storms and lightning. This was a peerless formation created by the great palace lord to suppress the heavenly lightning. The means of a divine emperor was not something an ordinary person could compare to. In the lightning-gathering peak, lightning surged and the formation was formed. It was like the end of the world. Dou Qing and the other 2 paled. Chapter 3075. Jiang Chen has failed in the end. Bai Ying sighed, as if he had already expected this to happen. Even though Jiang Chen was extremely powerful, he was still alone while his opponents were a few half-step divine emperors. Experts of such strength were way above them. Bai Ying had a deep relationship with Jiang Chen, but he could only sigh helplessly at this moment. Jiang Chen, you're right. You're right. Gu Maolu's face was gloomy. He had a good relationship with Jiang Chen, but what could he do? He couldn't help Jiang Chen at all. The person he once respected had grown to a level that they couldn't even hope to catch up to. However, it was also because of this that the battle with Tongxian Mansion ended up like this. All of this is like a dream. Is Jiang Chen really going to die like this? Gu Maolu said with a bitter expression. It's fine if he's defeated. People who overestimate themselves will not last long. An expert needs to endure and not be arrogant to the end. He has forgotten his own strength and identity. If it wasn't for Tongxian Mansion, how could he have achieved so much? In the end, he turned the tables on us. This kind of person is a wolf cub that can't be tamed. It's normal for him to have a taste of failure. It's just that we've misjudged him in the beginning. What can he achieve by deceiving his master and destroying his ancestors? You're just an early hierarch realm cultivator, yet you dare to have such an overconfident thought. It's just a fantasy to think that you can overthrow the profound connection divine palace that has existed for thousands of years. This is a bloody lesson. One should be realistic and take one step at a time to reach the peak. Bai Ying and Gu Maolu both turned their heads to look. At this moment, Yu Chenglong was standing with his hands behind his back, silently watching this scene. He did not make a move earlier. His appearance at this moment shocked Bai Ying and Gu Maolu. However, his strength had already broken through to the hierarch realm. Brother Yu, congratulations. It's a pity that Brother Jiang died just like that. He really shouldn't have done that. Bai Ying said helplessly. He was quite shocked to see that Yu Chenglong had broken through to the hierarch realm. Although Jiang Chen was wrong and may have betrayed Tongxian Mansion, he did save us. Gu Maolu frowned slightly as he glanced at Yu Chenglong. Yu Chenglong's words were filled with sarcasm, which made him rather puzzled. Jiang Chen was indeed in the wrong first, but that couldn't cover up the fact that he had once saved their lives. Gu Maolu had a knot in his heart. His senior brother Yu, who was incomparably arrogant and cold in his heart, seemed to be worlds apart from the current him. His strength had indeed broken through, but he felt that Yu Chenglong's breadth of mind had become even narrower. Everyone had their own goals. Gu Maolu was not the kind of cultivator who worked hard to rise to the top, but he was a person who strived hard to achieve his goals. At least from his point of view, Yu Chenglong's sarcasm made him feel very uncomfortable. He was not qualified to judge the world. His strength was similar to Jiang Chen's, but it was impossible for him to do such an earth-shattering thing. Even if he died, it would be worth it. Without him, we wouldn't have been killed by the 4 Jiang brothers so easily. You've underestimated the 3 dragon heads of the outer mansion. Even though I'm the only one left among the 3 dragon heads of the outer mansion, the hierarch realm is just my starting point. There's still a long way to go in the future. Jiang Chen only has himself to blame. The profound connection divine palace is our greatest cultivation treasure. What will we get if he destroys it? What will we get? He's like a monkey who doesn't know how to be satisfied. His greed is insatiable, like a snake trying to swallow an elephant. In the end, he harmed others and himself, yet he still claimed to be a hero. In fact, he was the one who dragged everyone down with him. He must have found his conscience to be able to fight in the end. Yu Chenglong smiled indifferently and said calmly. Bai Ying did not say anything, but Gu Maolu sneered with a hint of disdain in his eyes. Brother Yu, you didn't say that when Jiang Chen won the outer mansion's first place. Everyone makes mistakes, but I don't agree with what you said. A person should leave something for the world while he's alive. Maybe he will die, but he will always live in my heart. Although Jiang Chen was defeated, it was still honorable because the ones who defeated him were none other than the 4 great experts of the half-step divine emperor scripture. Can you do it? Gu Maolu's question made Yu Chenglong snort coldly, but he was speechless. Can you do it? Gu Maolu obviously did not dare to say that he was stronger than Jiang Chen. It was just that Jiang Chen was more arrogant, and he would not follow in his footsteps. So what if he's strong? Isn't he still going to be defeated by Tongxian Mansion and killed by the second Mansion Master and the others? A dead man is like an extinguished lamp. I want to see how he'll be able to do anything now that he's on his last breath. All of this was caused by himself. If he didn't do it, he wouldn't have died. Yu Chenglong said coldly. He was extremely dissatisfied with Gu Maolu, and his face was terrifyingly gloomy. Brother Yu, it's really worth congratulating you for making another breakthrough in your strength. However, there's one thing I don't understand. Sister Zhu is Wu Ningzhu, and the person she's been searching for is Jiang Chen. Don't tell me you don't know about this? You only appeared when she was captured by the second Mansion Master. You're really unpredictable. Gu Maolu said faintly. Don't think that I don't dare to touch you, Gu Maolu. You're too daring. Killing you now is as easy as taking something out of my pocket. You have no idea how terrifying the strength of a hierarch realm expert is. Yu Chenglong's face was filled with killing intent as he stared at Gu Maolu. Gu Maolu's heart sank, but he did not back down. Brother Yu, please calm down. Little Gu is just worried about Jiang Chen. He's our savior after all. No matter what, I'm still a little reluctant to let him go. My heart is filled with sympathy, and it's inevitable that my words are inappropriate. Brother Yu, please don't lower yourself to his level. Bai Ying smiled and tried to smooth things over. I hope you won't say the same thing next time. Some people are dead, some are still alive, and some have to accept reality. After Yu Chenglong spoke, he turned around and left. Bai Ying heaved a sigh of relief. He glared at Gu Maolu. Didn't you respect Brother Yu a lot in the past? Why are you so stupid now? Why are you arguing with Brother Yu? Is there any meaning to it? If it wasn't for the past, he would have already attacked you. I don't believe that he doesn't know anything about Sister Zhu and Jiang Chen, Gu Maolu said in a deep voice. Be careful of your loose lips. Shut up. Bai Ying shouted. Actually, you already have the answer in your heart. You just don't want to believe it. But that's how people are born. On the long road of cultivation, who would care about those details? The strong are the ones who will write the history of this world. Millions of years later, when you stand at the peak and look down on all living things, those things that no one knows about or have one side with emotion will no longer be important. Bai Ying said. He's no longer the Brother Yu that I respected in the past. He's the only one left of the 3 dragon heads of the outer palace. At least Chenlong died a worthy death. At least Xiao Qinglong's death was not unjust. However, he's no longer one of the 3 dragon heads of the outer palace that I admire. Even though his strength is no longer what it used to be. Gu Maolu said with extreme disappointment. People will always change because of power, because of strength, because of emotions, because of living. Chapter 3076. Damn it! Jiang Chen's face was extremely gloomy. At this moment, He was trapped under the thunder-gathering peak by the second prefecture master, Do Qing and the others. The heavenly lightning surged and the formation was self-contained. The soul-devouring thunder-sealing formation was used to suppress the heavenly lightning. However, Jiang Chen was forced into it and there was no way for him to escape. After all, this formation was set up by a divine emperor realm expert to trap the heavenly lightning. Jiang Chen's strength was too much weaker than his. Although Jiang Chen could use the no-beginning formation to gradually evolve it, he still could not erase the might of the formation left by a divine emperor realm expert. I'd like to see if you can break through this formation. Ha ha ha, the closer you get to the center of the formation, the more violent the power of the lightning. Even a divine emperor realm expert might not be able to withstand it. The second prefecture master said with a laugh. Is this formation really that powerful? Do Qing asked doubtfully. This was set up by my big brother in the past to trap the lightning origin energy. You should know how strong he is. There aren't many people who can escape from him. It's absolutely safe to be suppressed by the soul-devouring thunder-sealing formation. The second prefecture master said with a proud face. Do Qing silently nodded. Back then, the profound connection divine palace had been insufferably arrogant and stood above Feng Yin County. Countless veteran experts were unconvinced, but in the end, they were all suppressed by the great palace master. From this, one could see how powerful the great palace master was. Since it's a formation left behind by the first prefecture master, I'm relieved. Does Jiang Chen still have a chance to live? Do Qing continued to ask. Brother Do, you don't have to worry about this, do you? Haha, of course I won't let him die so easily. Otherwise, how would I explain the death of my third brother? Humph. I'll torture him for 10,000 years and then send him to the land of 10,000 souls and bones. The second mansion master said with a gloomy expression. At this moment, Do Qing was at a loss because he had no reason to stay any longer. Jiang Chen had been suppressed by the soul-devouring thunder-sealing formation, but they still wanted to obtain the inheritance of great sovereign immortal execution. Otherwise, they wouldn't have sent 3 half-step divine emperors to help the profound connection divine palace get through this crisis. Although they were friends, they were just making use of each other. They had yet to acknowledge each other. To put it bluntly, they were just scheming against each other. The one who could laugh in the end would naturally be the one who laughs the best. Although Tongxian Mansion had suffered heavy losses, as long as the first mansion master was still around, Tongxian Mansion would not fall. Only they knew what a divine emperor meant. As long as the mountain was still there, it wouldn't be a problem for the sun to be dyed red with blood. A divine emperor was enough to change many things. In this prefecture, a divine emperor was already a top-notch existence. Even the Battle God clan, which was an ancient divine clan, wouldn't be willing to offend a divine emperor expert. Alright, since the second mansion master has said so, we can leave with peace of mind. Do Qing smiled faintly and the second mansion master heaved a sigh of relief. He was most afraid that Do Qing wouldn't leave. Then, he would be in a difficult situation. Yu Wei was still around, but he wasn't in Tongxian Mansion after all. It was impossible for him to be a match for them. Fortunately, they knew when to advance and retreat. They didn't intend to stay in Tongxian Mansion any longer. This time, the Battle God clan has sent out 3 half-step divine emperors. I'm very grateful for that. However, I think Brother Do's purpose is more than that, right? The second mansion master asked. You're right. If it's just to help you, I alone can do it. However, something big has happened in the West Pole Divine region. It's said that it's related to our ancestor. So, we followed the order of our clan master and went to investigate. Do Qing said. What's the matter that made the Battle God clan send out 3 half-step divine emperors? Seems like my guess is right. The second mansion master frowned and said in surprise. It's said that a reincarnated living Buddha has been born in the West Pole Divine region. The ancestor of our Battle God clan died in the hands of those old bald donkeys in the West Pole Divine region. This time, we can't just stand by and watch. Moreover, it's said that even the Great Lei Yin Temple was shaken. The entire West Pole Divine region has become extremely turbulent. In the end, it should be the birth of a rare treasure. Otherwise, it's impossible for Brother Do to travel thousands of miles. The second mansion master said with a smile. Second mansion master is indeed wise. Hee, it's said that a god-suppressing monument has appeared in the West Pole Divine region. That's why experts from all over have come to fight for it. Dou Qing did not hide anything from the second mansion master and said bluntly, "God-suppressing monument? What's that?" Obviously, the second mansion master did not know much about the God-suppressing monument. It's a precious treasure of the Great Lei Temple of the West Pole Divine Region. It's said that it's comparable to the Great Emperor Divine Weapon of the ancient times. Moreover, it's the birth of a living Buddha. It also means that the West Pole Divine Region will face a great calamity. Dou Qing's expression was serious and meticulous. A divine object like the God-suppressing monument could only be known by those who possessed the heritage of a great clan or those who had existed since ancient times. It could definitely make one tremble in fear. The birth of a living Buddha. Isn't it a good thing for the Great Lei Temple? Why would it become a calamity? The second mansion master said doubtfully. You're thinking too simply. Do you think that the West Pole Divine Region is still the West Pole Divine Region of the past? There are countless Buddhas and Arhats who have their own way of doing things. Do you think that the living Buddha is still a great deterrent? The West Pole Divine Region can be said to be in a state of disunity. It used to be the base camp of Mahavairokkana. However, since the immemorial war, the West Pole Divine Region has been devastated. Now, all the experts want to obtain the living Buddha. They want to threaten the living Buddha to command the other Buddhas. Therefore, whether it's the appearance of the God-suppressing monument or the reincarnation of the living Buddha, it's not a good thing for the West Pole Divine Region. A great war is likely to happen. Dou Qing said in a low voice. It seems that I have underestimated the West Pole Divine Region. I have to say that the Battle God clan is indeed an ancient great clan. They are still very sensitive about such things. Hehe. The second mansion master said with a smile and gave a thumbs up to Dou Qing. This trip to the West Pole Divine Region is a long and arduous one. Otherwise, there wouldn't be so many half-step divine emperors. This time, the most important thing for us to go to the West Pole Divine Region is to find the mystery of the death of our ancient ancestor. Dou Qing said in a righteous manner. If that's the case, I won't keep you any longer. Brother Dou, when my big brother comes back, he will definitely come to the Battle God clan to express his gratitude. Chapter 3077. The second palace master had already asked him to leave. Dou Qing was truly speechless. Wasn't this guy burning the bridge after crossing the river a little too fast? They haven't even left yet and the second master has already started to attack. Dou Qing was too lazy to care about it. He could see that the second master was afraid that he might have some bad intentions. If that's the case, how could he turn the situation around alone? Second master, you're on your own now. It's not right to measure the heart of a gentleman with the yardstick of a villain. We shall not stay any longer. Farewell. Dou Qing said. All right, Brother Dou. We shall meet again. I shall assist you in your triumphant return. The second master nodded. Dou Qing had no choice but to leave. The second master's words were so obvious. There was no need for him to stay any longer. In fact, Dou Qing already had a plan. Since the second master was burning the bridge after crossing the river and they were in a hurry, there was no need for them to stay any longer. Jiang Chen was suppressed in the soul-devouring thunderbolt ceiling formation. He was on the verge of death at this moment. Most importantly, the second master was afraid that Dou Qing would ask for a share of the loot. Moreover, he wanted to use this opportunity to break through to the Divine Emperor realm. He did not want Dou Qing and the others to disturb him. The origin of heavenly lightning in the lightning gathering peak was almost fused. He was waiting for this moment to break through to the Divine Emperor realm like his elder brother. At that time, the prestige of Tongxian Mansion would rise once again. After Dou Qing left, the second master appeared on the lightning gathering peak once again. Jiang Chen's breath was extremely weak at this moment. However, the second master would not let him die. The soul-devouring thunderbolt ceiling formation would suppress Jiang Chen, but it would not kill him. He wanted to take his soul and torture him slowly. Now you're at your wit's end. I shall take your soul now. Accept the reality, Jiang Chen. You shouldn't have made me your enemy. The second prefecture master sneered. The soul-devouring thunder ceiling formation laid down by a Divine Emperor realm expert was too powerful. Although Jiang Chen managed to escape, he couldn't break out with his own strength. Bastard, fight me to the death if you have the guts. Jiang Chen shouted in a deep voice. His voice reverberated around the thunder-gathering peak. The second mansion master found it even more ridiculous. You are simply not qualified to fight with me. If the current me wanted to kill you, it would be as easy as crushing an ant. Second master said arrogantly. That was indeed the case. Currently on the lightning-gathering peak, the second master moved his palm and lightning flashed, continuously striking towards Jiang Chen. The terrifying strength of the lightning was no weaker than his own heavenly thunder. It might even be stronger. Jiang Chen was incomparably shocked. Could it be that the heavenly thunder was connected to this invisible heavenly thunder? In this thunder-gathering peak, it could be said that there should be an extraordinary heavenly lightning sealed within. Let's see who can stand against me when I break through to the Divine Emperor realm. Ha ha! Just stay here. Without the power of the Divine Emperor realm, it's impossible to break out of this formation. Jiang Chen, I will let you be bombarded by this supreme heavenly thunder. The second palace master roared. With a wave of his hand, bolts of heavenly lightning descended from the formation. Jiang Chen's face was extremely solemn. After countless attempts, he knew that his strength was not enough to break out of this soul-devouring thunder-sealing formation. The power of a divine emperor was not to be underestimated. Although his strength had recovered a little, Jiang Chen could feel that it was impossible to break out of the formation even if he recovered all of his strength. This fella. Could it be that he wants to break through to the divine emperor realm with the help of the heavenly thunder source? Jiang Chen said in a low voice. He already had a slight understanding in his heart. The heavenly lightning that he thought would definitely injure him had instead become the pure lightning energy that Jiang Chen cultivated, allowing him to recover his strength faster. However, at this moment, even Jiang Chen did not expect a white lightning dragon to descend from the sky in the thunder-gathering peak. Its disdainful dragon eyes flickered with endless murderous intent. The domineering aura that stood above all life made Jiang Chen's heart palpitate. Jiang Chen knitted his brows, but in the next moment, he was completely devoured by the white lightning dragon. It was too powerful. The feeling of invincibility made Jiang Chen feel powerless. His defenses were destroyed by the lightning dragon in an instant, and his life was almost extinguished in an instant. It was a power that Jiang Chen could not stop. In a mountain 10,000 miles away from Tongxian Mansion, Long Shersan's face was covered in frost when he woke up. The first person he saw when he opened his eyes was Bai Yun. If it wasn't for you saving me, you would be dead by now, Long Shersan said in a low voice as he stared at Bai Yun. His cold expression caused Bai Yun's heart to tremble. Long Shersan's coldness was the kind that pushed people 1,000 miles away, causing Bai Yun's heart to clench. She had already expected that Long Shersan would reject her, but she did not expect it to be so intense. His coldness and disdain made Bai Yun feel extremely hurt. Don't tell me you don't understand Jiang Chen's good intentions at all? Bai Yun's face was wrinkled as if she had suffered a great grievance. However, this was completely ineffective against Long Shersan. He was even unwilling to look at Bai Yun with his own eyes. Long Shersan did not say a word as he turned around and left. Do you really not want to see me? Bai Yun bit her lip as she spoke, the sorrow in her heart overflowing. She had risked her life twice to save him, causing the origin energy in her body to grow weaker and weaker. Yet, all she got in return was such a cold treatment from Long Shersan. I don't know you. Long Shersan stopped and said faintly. His calm words were the biggest mockery and hurt to Bai Yun. Bai Yun hugged her slender shoulders, squatted on the ground and wept indifferently. Bing Yun and Qian Renji couldn't help but comfort her. This innocent and pure little girl was treated so coldly by Long Shersan. It was really unbearable. Wu Ningzhu and Yan Qingqing remained silent, gazing at the rising sun in the east. If Jiang Chen died, their hearts would certainly be buried in the divine world. Whether I live or die, I will bring little Chenzi back. I will. Long Shersan turned around and left without any hesitation. He didn't even turn his head back. Knowing Bai Yun was like meeting a stranger. You don't have the right to decide my life or death. Long Shersan looked at Bai Yun. That moment of coldness was something Bai Yun didn't want to see again in her life. Because at that moment, her heart seemed to have died. Long Shersan had decided everything. His heart was filled with sorrow. He could feel that Jiang Chen's breath was extremely weak and intermittent. However, he knew that Jiang Chen wasn't dead yet. However, when Long Shersan was about to return to Tongxian Mansion with the Zulong Tower in his hand, the radiance above the Zulong Tower disappeared instantly. This meant that Jiang Chen's breath had disappeared, and the connection between the Zulong Tower and Jiang Chen had been cut off. Long Shersan's heart instantly sank to the bottom. No, little Chenzi, no. This isn't true. Chapter 3078. Bastard, come out and face your death. Your grandfather, Longsha-san. I'm back. A voice that shook the 9 mountains reverberated in the sky above Tongxian Mansion. Silhouettes appeared one after another, staring at the proud figure in the void. They were extremely shocked. Longsha-san actually came back? What gave him the confidence to come back to Tongxian Mansion? This was no different from digging his own grave. Does this guy want to die? Humph. He really doesn't know his place. Previously, he ran away dejectedly. Now, he came back to Tongxian Mansion recklessly. Isn't it good to be alive? TSK. He still wants to get back at Tongxian Mansion? What a fool's dream. Since he has returned to Tongxian Mansion, he is destined to stay here forever. The second mansion master will not let him go. Does this guy really think that he is Jiang Chen? Even Jiang Chen, that monstrous genius, was killed by the second mansion master under the pressure of 4 half-step deity emperors. What about him? The appearance of Longsha-san once again attracted the attention of everyone in Tongxian Mansion. Jiang Chen was defeated and Longsha-san and the others ran away. They thought that this matter had come to an end. However, they did not expect that there would be another wave of trouble. Longsha-san's figure stood in the void like a sharp knife. His cold eyes were staring at Tongxian Mansion. However, no one noticed that Longsha-san's body was trembling slightly. The light of Zulong Tower had disappeared, which meant that Jiang Chen was dead. Longsha-san's last bit of hope had been extinguished. He had already guessed it, but he still could not believe it. Because Jiang Chen had escaped from death time and time again, Longsha-san was full of hope for Jiang Chen. However, at this moment, even the light of Zulong Tower had dimmed. That meant that Jiang Chen's life was completely gone. Otherwise, why would Jiang Chen be connected to Zulong Tower? Longsha-san didn't expect that his wrong decision would cause his closest brother to pay with his life. The result of his staking everything on one throw had harmed others and himself. Because he wanted to kill the second mansion lord too much. No one knew how the second mansion lord had treated him after 100 years of torture. That kind of pain had tortured Longsha-san for 100 years. What reason did he have not to risk his life for the second mansion lord? Longsha-san had thousands of thoughts in his mind. He had thought of the final outcome, but he had never expected that Jiang Chen would die. They would fail at the last moment. Although they had killed the third mansion lord, the second mansion lord was still alive. This made Longsha-san extremely angry and regretful. If he hadn't been impulsive, he wouldn't have made such a big mistake. He knew that he didn't dare to look at Wu Ningzhu and Yan Qingqing. He was afraid to see their eyes filled with despair. Longsha-san's heart would be condemned even more. Everyone would blame him, but not Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen was his life and death brother. This was the Jiang Chen in his heart. But what could he do? His hands were trembling unceasingly. Jiang Chen's breath had already been cut off. He was killed by the second mansion lord, and more importantly by himself. However, he wanted to kill the second mansion lord. Even if he had to pay with his life, he wouldn't hesitate. Longsha-san's heart was in a dilemma. His anger soared to the sky. His breath had already reached its peak. Today, he wanted to use his blood to dye the 9 heavens red. He wanted to use the second mansion lord's soul as a sacrifice to Jiang Chen. I didn't expect that you would dare to come back. I'm really surprised that you came back. The second mansion lord's eyes lit up when he saw Longsha-san appear in the sky. He had originally thought that Longsha-san would never return after escaping. However, he hadn't expected that this guy would dare to come back. In that case, he wouldn't let him escape this time, no matter what. Bastard Jiang Chen has been killed by you. Longsha-san took a deep breath. His eyes were burning with anger, causing the second mansion lord to furrow his brows. Who do you think you are, kid? Do you think that you alone can fight me? Don't tell me you've forgotten the lesson from before? Even without you, Jiang Chen wouldn't have lived for long. He was seeking his own death by becoming my enemy. Not long ago you fled in defeat. Now that you've returned, could it be that you've decided to become my spirit beast? Hee hee, a wise man submits to circumstances. It seems like you're quite sensible. Don't worry, I won't mistreat you when you become my spiritual beast in the future. The day I break through to the Divine Emperor realm will be the day you follow me and make a name for yourself," said the second mansion lord with a smile. It was as if he could already see his unfettered, unrivaled, and lonely self. I'll use your blood as a sacrifice to little Chunzi. Bastard. Give me your life. Long Shersan's roar was like thunder, rolling across the sky. Long Shersan held the unparalleled divine staff in his hand, and fought against the second Mansion Lord. The battle saint technique and the shadows of the staff filled the sky. At this moment, Long Shersan was fighting to his death. He didn't have the slightest desire to live. He had placed all his hopes on the unparalleled divine staff in his hand. At this moment, even the second Mansion Lord's expression changed. Long Shersan's attack was too strong. It was like a different person compared to before. This fella's battle saint technique was as if he didn't care about his own life. He charged towards the second Mansion Lord with the battle saint technique. The shadows of the staff danced in the sky, causing the sky to change color. With a spurt of energy, the second Mansion Lord fell into a passive position. He didn't expect Long Shersan to be so decisive. What's worse was that every time Long Shersan attacked, Long Shersan did not give him any leeway. Long Shersan's aim was to kill the second Mansion Lord in one fell swoop. Death was the scariest thing. The power of the battle saint technique was fully exerted. Even though the second master was a half-step divine emperor, he had no choice but to go all out. Although his strength had recovered to its peak, Dragon Shersan had changed his fighting style. He was exchanging his life for another's. The second master's face turned gloomy. It was his first time encountering such a crazy battle. It was even worse than the puppet's suicidal charge. Long Shersan was risking his life. The battle between him and the second Mansion Lord was even more earth-shattering. The people of Tongxian Mansion were all excited. They were charging forward without any regard for their own lives. Because of this, Long Shersan was able to perform the battle saint technique to its peak. Even if I die, I will die with you. Bastard, you can't run away. Chapter 3079. However, the second Mansion Master was a half-step divine emperor after all. Shersan wanted to inflict heavy damage on the second Mansion Master, but at the same time, he was also suffering a great loss. Even so, the second Mansion Master was having a headache. Both of them were bleeding profusely. Shersan's rod shadows kept falling down. Shersan had taken a palm strike from Shersan, but he was willing to risk his life to deal a fatal blow to the second Mansion Master, forcing the second Mansion Master to retreat. In this way, Shersan's attacks became sharper and fiercer. The second Mansion Master was burning with anger. Long Shersan had used his own injury to exchange for his own injury. In such a life-and-death battle, the second Mansion Master had also suffered serious injuries. In terms of momentum, he had already lost because he had been led by the nose by Long Shersan. Since you are so eager to die, I will fulfill your wish. The second Mansion Master roared. 5 thunders sacrifice. Thunder and fire double heavens. The second Mansion Master used his strongest technique and collided with Long Shersan continuously. Long Shersan's bloodthirsty fangs gave the second Mansion Master a headache. Both of them were like wild beasts clashing against each other. Long Shersan's vision became clearer and clearer. Although both of their injuries were not the same, Long Shersan's injuries were more serious than the second Mansion Master's every time. You're crazy. After several life-and-death battles, the second Mansion Master knew that he was completely stalled by Long Shersan. However, the latter's aura was dying. He had to kill him even if he had to. Long Shersan was on the verge of death every time. It seemed like he would fall at any time. However, he was able to shock the second Mansion Master every time. That was because he was too abnormal. If this went on, the second Mansion Master would be driven crazy by him. Long Shersan did not want to die, but the second Mansion Master did not want to die. Sacrifice my blood to the heavenly thunder. Power of the 5 directions heavenly thunder. Listen to my command. The second Mansion Master triggered the 5 thunder sacrifice and the heavenly thunder descended. Long Shersan's attack was finally repelled by the second Mansion Master's 5 thunders sacrifice. However, Long Shersan was like an immortal puppet. He wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and raised his head to launch another attack. Perish. 5 thunders burning sky order. The second Palace Master's attack finally knocked Shersan down. Shersan knelt down on one knee. His charging footsteps finally came to a halt at this moment. His aura was getting weaker and weaker, almost faintly discernible. Battle Saint Technique, Battle Heaven and Earth, battle heaven and earth, battle God, battle heaven and earth, battle Tao reincarnation, and earth, battle reincarnation. The fighting symbol formula is the life and death formula. The battle symbol formula is the annihilation formula. The battle saint technique is the battle universe peerless, the great Tao of reincarnation, the transcendence of the past, and I am the sole sovereign. Warriors stand in the past and the present, spanning across the ages. The battle saint art can battle the heavenly dipper, shake the big dipper, and go against the heavens. There's nothing that can't be fought, and there's nothing that can't be fought. A terrifying intent appeared in Long Xueqi's mind. The intent seemed to be able to penetrate the heavens and earth. It felt like an inheritance, a silhouette, and an unparalleled Tao accumulation. If Jiang Chen could see it now, he would be extremely shocked. That was because it was a Tao accumulation that was comparable to his heaven-conquering Tao. Moreover, it was a complete Great Emperor's Tao accumulation, which was completely different from the Tao accumulation he had when he was just born. Long Xueqi suddenly opened his eyes. At this moment, there was a towering battle intent in his heart. That battle intent was born from the great Tao and was nurtured by the great Tao. Battle saint art, battle symbol, heaven and earth boundless, battle symbol, Tao reincarnation. All of a sudden, Long Xueqi's inherited memory, the battle saint art, was completely comprehended at this moment. His battle intent had completely integrated with the battle saint art. Only then did he truly integrate the true essence of the battle saint art. Fighting to the death, the battle saint art was finally completed. For so many years, Long Xueqi could not completely comprehend the battle saint art. He knew that the battle saint art was strong, but he could not truly feel the terrifying domineering aura. It was so strong that Long Xueqi was unwilling to give up because he knew that the battle saint art could be stronger. Battle symbol technique. Heaven and earth battle. Long Xueqi suddenly opened his eyes. At that moment, his aura had skyrocketed to a level that the second mansion master could not believe. His strength was still at the late hierarch realm, but his aura was unparalleled, causing the second mansion master's expression to change. It was an oppressive feeling that came from the depths of his soul. The battle intent of the battle symbol technique made Long Xueqi's strike collapse the mountains and rivers. The entire Tongxian mansion and the 100 Zhang mountain range collapsed inch by inch. The majestic force caused the heavens and earth to change color and the clouds to rise. Such a powerful strike, the second mansion master said with dry lips. However, when he threw out a punch and tried to resist the attack, he realized that he could not withstand the pressure from Long Xueqi. That strike had directly broken his arm and suppressed his aura. Even Long Xueqi himself did not know how strong that terrifying battle intent was. Again! Long Xueqi's blood-red eyes were filled with anger and killing intent. He wanted to avenge Jiang Chen. He wanted to seek justice for himself. He wanted the Tongxian mansion to collapse completely. Long Xueqi wielded the peerless divine staff once again and swept it across, cutting down mountains, causing rivers to flow backward, and volcanoes to erupt. The scene was extremely majestic and tragic. The second mansion master was once again heavily injured by that strike. The battle intent that descended from the sky made it impossible for him to dodge. He clashed with Long Xueqi, but in the end, the second mansion master was smashed to the top of the void. Today, I will dye the heavens with my blood for Jiang Chen. Bastard, you must die. Long Xueqi's hand that was holding the peerless divine staff trembled slightly. Jiang Chen's figure was constantly flickering in his eyes. However, that fatal strike had already landed on the second mansion master without any hesitation. Don't. No, the second mansion master roared angrily. His face was completely ashen. As the staff smashed down, the second mansion master's body was completely shattered by the peerless divine staff. His 3 souls and 7 spirits were completely destroyed. Long Xueqi turned around and swung the staff once again. The second mansion master's soul was also incomparably terrified. In an instant, both his soul and spirit were destroyed, vanishing into thin air. Long Xueqi's hand was also trembling slightly. He had completely comprehended the battle saint technique, but who was that tall figure in his mind? Was it him? Was it the father that he had never met? All that was left in his inherited memories were scattered bits and pieces. That mountain-like figure was blurred, filling Long Xueqi's heart with despair and hope. Hope was born in the midst of despair, and hope was found in the midst of a desperate situation. Long Xueqi didn't know, but he couldn't feel happy at that moment. He had killed the second mansion master, but Jiang Chen would never return. Chapter 30-80. You killed the second mansion master? The sound of thunder came from the void and 3 figures appeared. Dou Qing's eyes were wide open as he stared at Long Shan. At this moment, the entire Tongxian mansion was boiling with fear, anxiety, and anger. Jiang Chen had killed the third mansion master and Long Shan had killed the second mansion master. For them, the Tongxian mansion was like hell on earth and they were in despair. The great elder, Lin Yukong, and the others were in a mess because they couldn't fight back. Now that the second prefecture master was dead, this was undoubtedly a bolt out of the blue to them. Their backbone was gone, 2 out of the 3 prefecture masters were dead, and the great prefecture master was still wandering the world, with no one knowing when he would return. One could imagine how difficult their situation was. The death of the second mansion master was a fatal blow to the Tongxian mansion. The entire Tongxian mansion had lost a half-step emperor realm expert, and it was hard for them to support themselves. Lin Yukong, the great elder, and the others couldn't continue to be the true ruler of the Tongxian mansion. This made them anxious like ants on a hot pan. So what? If you want to fight, let's fight. Why are you talking so much nonsense? Long Shan shouted angrily. He wasn't afraid of Dou Qing. At this moment, his battle saint technique had reached perfection. Although he was injured, Long Shan wouldn't retreat. If he wanted to fight, he would fight without fear and move forward bravely. This was his belief and it was also his obsession. What a reckless guy. How dare you be so arrogant after killing the second prefecture master? Today, even though I am a member of the Battle God clan, I am duty-bound to take your life, said Lin Fan coldly. Dou Qing said in a deep voice and his face was full of pride. Now that the second mansion master was dead, he had come back. Or it could be said that he had never left and was waiting for this moment. If it wasn't for Long Shan, he would have killed the second mansion master by force. However, someone did what he should do for him. Wouldn't he be more free? Moreover, he could be the messenger of justice. Wasn't this a good thing? Senior Dou, I hope that you will uphold justice for the Tongxian mansion. If we don't get rid of this bastard, we won't be able to quench our hatred. The second mansion master died unjustly. The great elder's face turned pale. The situation had gone out of control. It was not easy for the experts of the Battle God clan to protect the profound connection Divine Palace. To them, this was the greatest comfort. The great elder didn't know how long he would have to wait for the great mansion master to return. However, at this moment, this bastard was running amok. The Tongxian mansion was being bullied. Since when did they suffer such injustice? The great elder was furious, but he had no choice as he wasn't a match for Long Shan. He could only place his hope in the hands of the 3 experts of the Battle God clan. I am deeply sorry for the death of the second mansion master. However, at this moment, you can rest assured that I will not let this bastard continue to be arrogant and get away with it. I, Dou Qing, will kill him as soon as possible to bring justice to the Tongxian mansion and Fengyin County. Dou Qing is duty-bound. Dou Qing's face was solemn as he looked at the great elder. The other elders were extremely grateful. They were indescribably respectful towards Dou Qing because they knew that Dou Qing was their last hope. If they didn't grab hold of him, the Tongxian mansion would be in grave danger. They knew better than anyone that they weren't the only major power in Fengyin County. If the death of the second mansion master and the third mansion master was spread out, the Tongxian mansion would definitely be in a difficult situation. The great mansion master hadn't returned yet, but it was destined to make everyone tremble in fear. The Tongxian mansion is unable to express the kindness of the Battle God clan. We thank you once again. The great elder and the others said in a deep voice. Long Shan sneered. This Dou Qing was pretending to deal with him, but Long Shan could see the greed in his eyes. Dou Qing already knew his identity. Just like the second mansion master, he would definitely act against Long Shan. Moreover, his main purpose was probably Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen had obtained the inheritance of the immortal execution great emperor. That was why Dou Qing didn't hesitate to act against them. I have a close relationship with the second mansion master. His business is my business. Long Shan, if you surrender now, I might spare your life. At that time, suffer under me for 1,000 years and I might give you your freedom. Otherwise, you will die today. Dou Qing's eyes were blazing as he stared at Long Shan. If you want to fight, then let's fight. Noisy guy, since you want to avenge this dog, then go to hell. Long Shersan's battle intent surged. Dou Qing and the other two sneered. Especially Dou Qing. At this moment, it was perfectly justifiable for him to kill Long Shersan and take Jiang Chen away. Even if the Tongxian mansion wanted to stop him, they didn't have the ability to do so. Even if the great mansion master returned, they wouldn't have the slightest objection. After all, he was the one who saved the Tongxian mansion. At this moment, although Long Shersan was filled with pressure, he knew that he had to continue fighting. Although the second mansion master was dead, he wasn't the only one who killed Jiang Chen. Battle Saint Technique, Battle Symbol Art. Long Shersan attacked fiercely. He couldn't wait for Dou Qing to give him a fatal blow before he retaliated. It was already too late. Long Shersan displayed the power of the Battle Saint Technique as if he had the help of God. Fighting 1 against 3, Long Shersan's Battle Saint Technique actually withstood the first wave of Dou Qing's attack. The attacks of the 4 were incomparably sharp, but it wasn't enough for Long Shersan. If he couldn't defeat the 3 of them, it would be impossible for him to leave. Although the Battle Saint Technique was incomparably powerful and he had completely comprehended it, it didn't mean that Long Shersan was truly invincible. After all, there were 3 half-step divine emperors. Compared to the second mansion master, there was still a huge gap. He didn't need to face just one person. The 3 of them formed a pincer attack and pressed towards Long Shersan. Long Shersan fought and retreated at the same time. He brandished his scepter and swung it wildly, shaking the heavens and earth. Battle Symbol Art. Long Shersan's situation was extremely dangerous. Although he could barely withstand the pressure from the 3 half-step divine emperors, it was self-evident how terrifying the 3 half-step divine emperors were. Moreover, he had suffered such heavy injuries all by himself. Now, he was fighting with his life on the line. Fighting 1 against 3 was already a formidable feat. Long Shersan retreated step by step, but his battle intent never wavered. Little Chunzi, I must avenge you. Long Shersan fought with his life on the line. Even if he were to lose his life, killing 1 would not be a loss. If he could kill 2, it would be a profit. However, although his idea was good, it was still a dangerous one. Long Shersan's attacks were difficult to deal with. He didn't need to know how strong the opponents he had to face. He only knew that he must drag 1 or 2 of them down with him before he died. Chapter 3081. In the soul-devouring thunder-sealing formation, lightning flashed and the sky changed color. The formation had formed its own space, but it had abandoned all laws. No one knew what was happening in the soul-devouring thunder-sealing formation. After the white thunderbolt dragon injured Jiang Chen, it was ready to devour Jiang Chen. Because Jiang Chen's body was a huge treasure vault, the body of myriad qi was a great treasure to it. If it devoured Jiang Chen, it wouldn't need to be trapped here anymore. It was a fatal blow to it to have its source of lightning extracted for thousands of years. In the lightning-gathering peak, it turned into a thunderbolt dragon and kept attacking, trying to break free from the shackles. However, it couldn't do it. Gradually, its source of lightning was extracted by countless people. Because of this, its source of lightning became weaker and weaker, to the point that it could only be resisted by a half-step divine emperor. Foolish human. You're not qualified to control me. Even if I have lost most of my source of lightning, I can still kill you without much effort. The Thunder Dragon said coldly. At this moment, it was about to devour this reckless human. After devouring him, it might not take long for it to recover its origin energy. The myriad qi was very beneficial to cultivation. Ha ha. The Thunder Dragon had been waiting for this day for far, far too long. It had been trapped here, and its origin energy had been plundered. There was only endless pain and anger, and no one could understand it. This time, an auspicious sign suddenly descended from the heavens. Even in the ancient times, there was no such good thing. The myriad origin qi was enough to help it break through and transform into a human. Humans were the most intelligent of all beings and the origin of all beings. If it wanted to become the ruler of humans, it would need to transform into a human. As the leader of the heavenly lightning, it wasn't easy for it to break through the shackles of the heavenly lightning. It's your honor to be devoured by me. Tremble in fear, human. Ha ha. At this moment, Jiang Chen suddenly opened his eyes. However, he was already under the control of the Thunderbolt Dragon. Silver-white lightning flashed across the void. Jiang Chen's heart sank. He knew that the Thunderbolt Dragon was going to attack him. You want to devour me? Jiang Chen said coldly. So what? That's your blessing, you know? Little fella, from now on, I, Xueqi, will become a true emperor. No one will be able to stop me. Initially, I thought that I would be suppressed here for the rest of my life. Who would have thought that the heavens would not destroy me? The myriad chi body is a great supplement. Xueqi twisted his gigantic dragon head and said proudly. Damn it. Jiang Chen's facial expression changed. His body was extremely weak right now. In the face of this terrifying thunderous dragon, he was like a powerless child who couldn't even truss a chicken. Jiang Chen finally knew who this fellow was. He was the Sky Thunder origin that the second Mansion Master had been trying to obtain. Accept your death. You have no chance to refute. Xueqi opened his mouth wide and tried to devour Jiang Chen. That terrifying lightning energy swept across the sky. Even though Jiang Chen had the protection of the Sky Thunder, the Sky Thunder origin was much stronger than he had imagined. My current strength is still too weak. If I'm at my peak, I might be able to fight it. This Thunder Dragon is at most an arrow at the end of its flight. Otherwise, the second Mansion Master wouldn't have wanted to devour it. It might look so strong, but it's definitely just holding on. Jiang Chen guessed that Xueqi must have directly swallowed the Thunder origin. However, within Xueqi's stomach, the terrifying lightning energy was getting more and more intense. The Thunder origin was the source of its true energy. Tongxian Mansion had been continuously refining the Thunder origin all these years. This should be the reason why the Thunder origin was constantly weakening this Thunder Dragon. Now that it was time to reap the harvest, the Thunder origin would definitely be at its weakest. Jiang Chen had a bold guess. If he could refine this Thunder origin and fuse 3 types of lightning, his strength would definitely have a huge breakthrough. Once the 3 types of Sky Thunder origin were fused, the power it could unleash would be far more terrifying than the Ghost Prison Ashura Sword formation. That was the true destruction of heaven and earth. If he fused the 3 types of Sky Thunder origin and fought against the second Mansion Master, Jiang Chen had absolute confidence that he could easily kill the second Mansion Master. After being swallowed by the Thunder Dragon, Jiang Chen could feel the increasingly terrifying Thunder origin constantly attacking him, trying to melt him. However, he resisted with all his might. That unparalleled pressure from the Sky Thunder origin gave Jiang Chen a fatal pressure. Jiang Chen clenched his teeth. His life force was constantly draining away. His aura was getting weaker and weaker. This Thunder origin was far stronger than Jiang Chen had imagined. Remember, my name is Xueqi Drought Thunder. You will be devoured by me. Your life will be my greatest harvest. Xueqi shouted in a deep voice. With a roar, the Thunder origin in his heart continuously attacked Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen's aura was also suppressed to the point where he was on the verge of death. Am I really going to die here? I'm not willing. I'm not willing. Jiang Chen's mind was racing. He had no other way now. Wanting to escape was no different from a fool's dream. Tower come. Jiang Chen continued to roar. The Zulong Tower in Long Shersan's hand was smashed again and again, trying to suppress his opponent. However, it was useless. At this moment, the Zulong Tower in Long Shersan's hand regained a glimmer of light. At the same time, Long Shersan's heart also became blazing hot. Little Chunzi didn't die? Long Shersan murmured. He was forced back by Dou Qing's attack and suffered heavy injuries. However, he still laughed wildly. Ha 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 ha. That's great, that's great. Ha ha ha. Long Shersan laughed crazily. Even the people in Tongxian Mansion were a little dumbfounded. Could this guy have been beaten silly by the experts of the Battle God clan? He was injured several times, in imminent danger, and his life was hanging by a thread. How could he still laugh? Is this guy crazy? He doesn't look like it. Crazy. He's definitely crazy. He's about to be beaten to death and he's still so happy. Don't you think he's crazy? The second Mansion Master actually died in the hands of a crazy guy. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. Countless people of the Profound Connection Divine Palace sighed silently. Even Dou Qing frowned as she thought to herself, what is this guy trying to do? It seemed a little hard to fathom. However, even Dou Qing did not dare to let his guard down. After all, the second Mansion Master was killed by this guy. He had to be careful. Little Chunzi, I'll wait for you to come out and fight with me. Chapter 3082. The Zulong Tower flew up in an instant, leaving Long Shersan's palm and flying towards the direction of the lightning-gathering peak. The Zulong Tower shone brightly. The morale was high. Jiang Chen clenched his hand and the Zulong Tower suppressed the lightning dragon. Bastard! Damned human! You won't have a good death. How dare you resist? Go to hell! Zhao Yu roared. The lightning dragon continued to struggle. The Zulong Tower suppressed it completely. However, the lightning dragon's struggle also made it hard for the Zulong Tower to seal it completely. The lightning dragon was simply too powerful. Jiang Chen finally understood that the lightning dragon might have been feigning weakness, purposely showing an opening so that the second palace master could take advantage of it. The strength of this lightning dragon was definitely comparable to 10 half-step divine emperors. Jiang Chen's heart skipped a beat. Seems like this Zhao Yu drought lightning was even stronger than the Dawn Sky Golden Lightning and the 9 Stars Heavenly Tribulation Lightning. I must refine it. Now, let's see who is stronger. Who will be the one laughing in the end? Jiang Chen's lips curled into a faint smile. The Zhao Yu drought lightning wanted to devour him. Why wouldn't he want to make the Zhao Yu drought lightning his own? If that's the case, his strength would improve by leaps and bounds. Jiang Chen controlled the Zulong Tower to fight against Zhao Yu. Undeniably, Jiang Chen had underestimated the Zhao Yu drought lightning. It was definitely comparable to 10 half-step divine emperors. Even if he gave it his all, he still couldn't force it back. At this moment, he had no other choice. The power of the Zulong Tower was gradually fading. Jiang Chen was starting to feel powerless against the destructive sky lightning origin. Although the Zulong Tower was fighting against the Zhao Yu drought lightning, it couldn't cause any damage to the lightning dragon. The lightning dragon was still looking down on everything. Jiang Chen's efforts were slowly being destroyed by the lightning dragon. To Jiang Chen, this was like a bolt from the blue. You will not be able to escape from my palm. Even if the human who has been separated from me for millions of years appeared in front of me, he wouldn't be able to do any damage to me. Because my origin energy is not as simple as he thinks. Ha ha! Such a foolish human. I wonder when you will wake up from your ignorance. The lightning dragon was incomparably arrogant. The lightning origin in its body wreaked havoc. Jiang Chen was struck down again and again. His body was on the verge of collapsing. The sky lightning origin was more than 10 times stronger than the Dawn Sky Golden Lightning and the 9 Stars Heavenly Tribulation Lightning. Although Jiang Chen didn't know how strong the sky lightning in the rush lightning diagram was, it might not be stronger than the Zhao Yu drought lightning. Because he was already using all his strength, but he still couldn't move the lightning dragon. I can't die. I still have to find my Xiao Yu. I still have Qing Qing. I still have Sister Ning. I still have that damned monkey. I still have De Huang. I still have my father, waiting for me in Linhe boundary. My father. I can't die. Jiang Chen roared in his heart. He struggled with all his might. The violent lightning baptism made him truly feel how powerful it was to be suppressed by the sky lightning. Before, Jiang Chen didn't even care about the sky lightning and pill lightning. But now, he knew that there would always be someone stronger than him. Because the origin energy of the sky lightning wasn't something he could resist. Jiang Chen relied on his will to keep attacking, but he was struck down again and again. His desire to escape became stronger. Long Shersan suddenly turned around. He could feel Jiang Chen's danger, but he also couldn't protect himself. The only thing he could do now was to survive and wait for Jiang Chen to appear. Bang! Long Shersan was once again forced back by Dou Qing. But he stood up again like an undying god of war. What supported him was his endless battle intent and unwavering faith in his brother. He couldn't die. Even if he had to die, he must see Jiang Chen for the last time. As his brother, he wouldn't run away. I, Long Shersan, will never surrender. Only the heavens and earth, only Jiang Chen can fight against me. Ha ha ha, little Chenzi, don't let me down. I believe that you will be reborn from this hopeless situation. Long Shersan grinned. He was calm and composed. Even though he was severely injured, his faith in Jiang Chen was still the same. Let's see how long you can hold on. You and that so-called Jiang Chen are both people who don't know the meaning of death. You're obviously talented, but you insist on going against the heavens. Weaklings should have the attitude of weaklings. Don't even think about defying the might of the strong. Scram! Dou Qing roared again and again. Shersan was like an unkillable god of war. His ability to withstand attacks was too strong. Dou Qing couldn't kill Xueqi at all. Dou Qing coveted the Battle Saint technique. If he could get his hands on the Battle Saint technique, it would be like adding wings to a tiger. It would be a waste if a mere Hierarch realm expert got his hands on it. It would not be as strong as it was in Xueqi's hands. Xueqi swore to fight till the end against Dou Qing and the others. Even if he was on the verge of death, even if he was on the brink of death, his faith was still there. A single thought was enough for him to soar into the sky and fear no one. Are you finally going to die? Ha ha ha, the insignificance of humans can never be changed. I was born from the heavens and earth. The heavens and earth exist together with me. What are you? Xueqi's eyes flickered. The lightning origin in his abdomen had almost pierced through Jiang Chen's body. The invisible lightning chains had completely bound Jiang Chen, making him unable to move. Jiang Chen's aura had become extremely weak. Suddenly, Jiang Chen could feel a faintly discernible aura flowing through his body, and it was rushing toward his dantian. It was an indescribable feeling of joy and excitement. Jiang Chen took a deep breath. He could feel the existence of that thing. Great Sovereign's Tao accumulation. Jiang Chen was shocked. Originally, the Great Sovereign's Tao accumulation was not something that he could control. He needed to reach the Tao Emperor realm before he could have his own Tao. However, Jiang Chen's Emperor realm soul and his control over the heaven-dominating Tao had gradually formed the embryonic form of Tao. He could feel the existence of Tao. Although it was still very weak, it was not something that a Hierarch realm expert could feel. Even for Emperor realm experts, if they didn't have their own great Tao path, it was almost as difficult as ascending to the heavens to open up a real great Tao. Many Emperor realm experts might be very strong, but their Tao accumulation might not be able to look down on the world. Some weak great sovereigns were able to reverse the heavens because they had their own Tao. The true great Tao accumulation could change everything. The Tao accumulation in Jiang Chen's body was like a gossamer, wandering in his body. Although it was very weak, Jiang Chen was sure that it was the Tao accumulation. Great Sovereign's Tao accumulation. Heavenly engulfing seal? Jiang Chen's eyes lit up. He suddenly remembered the first seal of the heavenly engulfing seal that he obtained on the 91st floor of the Zulong Tower, the heavenly engulfing seal. Chapter 3083. Heaven accumulating Tao seal. Only those who possessed the great emperor's Tao could display the howling heaven seal. Jiang Chen was not even sure whether he could display the howling heaven seal or not. After all, the Tao in his body was too little, even faintly discernible. However, Jiang Chen had no other choice. He could only fight with his life on the line. In the end, success or failure was out of his control. However, if he did not fight with his life on the line, he would be gradually devoured by the thunderbolt origin. Now, he felt that his physical strength was running out. Even his mind had begun to waver. Even though he had the myriad chi body, Jiang Chen could not do anything about it. The Howling Heaven Seal was his only way. However, to display the Howling Heaven Seal required the great emperor's Tao. But could the weak Tao really control the Howling Heaven Seal? Jiang Chen really had no idea. I'll fight with my life on the line. If I can display the Howling Heaven Seal, then this guy will definitely die. Jiang Chen felt neither joy nor sorrow in his heart. He decided to give it a try. It was better than having no chance at all. His family was still waiting for him. He could not afford to give up like this. Howling Heaven Seal, it's all up to you now. Jiang Chen activated the weak Great Emperor's Tao and began to display the Howling Heaven Seal. Although it was the first time for Jiang Chen to display it, he must not be careless. Success or failure depended on a single thought. Although there was only a slight chance, Jiang Chen did not want to miss it. There was a trace of Great Emperor's Tao flowing in Jiang Chen's limbs and bones. When Jiang Chen was about to display the Howling Heaven Seal, the trace of Tao directly broke through Jiang Chen's dantian and rushed into Jiang Chen's heart at a terrifying speed. Jiang Chen formed a seal with both of his hands. Jiang Chen did not know how strong the Howling Heaven Seal was, but at least it was not something that could be resisted by anyone below the Emperor realm. Even a divine Emperor realm expert might not be able to withstand it, because it could only be displayed with the Great Emperor's Tao. An ordinary Emperor realm expert would have to avoid it. Jiang Chen knew that if he displayed it, he would not be able to display the demeanor of a great emperor or the same as an Emperor realm expert. He only needed to defeat the Drought Thunder. Howling Heaven Seal rise. Jiang Chen struck out with his palm, but there was no change at all. Jiang Chen's heart sank to the bottom. That faintly discernible Tao essence had finally disappeared without a trace? Jiang Chen struck out with his palm, but there was no change. His heart even felt a little hopeless. I don't believe it. Howling Heaven Seal. Go. Jiang Chen displayed the Howling Heaven Seal for the last time. At this moment, the seals on both of his palms suddenly changed. A destructive aura was unleashed from Jiang Chen's palm. That terrifying palm seal was like a comet exploding. With a formless sound, it swept out and destroyed the lightning dragon. The lightning dragon that was formed from the drought thunder's origin power was directly crushed by Jiang Chen. As soon as the Howling Heaven Seal appeared, the heavens and earth changed color. A ray of dazzling light shot out from the lightning-gathering peak and soared into the sky. Could it be Jiang Chen who's underground? Impossible. Jiang Chen is already dead. He was suppressed by the second palace master. It must be the heavenly lightning of the lightning-gathering peak. The heavenly lightning was chaotic, causing the surroundings to tremble. Everyone was terrified. Long Shersan and Do Qing looked at the lightning-gathering peak. When the ray of light exploded, all of them felt their hearts palpitate. If they were to be struck by that ray of light, they would definitely die. Is that the power of a divine emperor expert? The elder of the Battle God clan murmured behind Do Qing. Do Qing's face turned pale. He shook his head and said, even a divine emperor expert might not be able to withstand that attack. At least a mid-divine emperor could do it. A divine emperor expert is not omnipotent. Do Qing's words also shocked Long Shersan. Was Jiang Chen really that powerful? Was it really the heavenly lightning of the lightning-gathering peak? Then wouldn't Jiang Chen be? Impossible. Jiang Chen must still be alive. He must be. Long Shersan was extremely confident. No one dared to go near the lightning-gathering peak. Everyone retreated. Once they were affected by that terrifying ray of light, they might perish. Jiang Chen was overjoyed. Did the heavenly seal really succeed? The silver-white thunderbolt dragon crumbled in an instant. Zhao Yu's thunderbolt origin was also heavily injured. He never expected Jiang Chen to be able to display such terrifying power. It's the great emperor's Tao accumulation. Impossible. This is impossible. Zhao Yu could not believe that the great emperor's Tao accumulation was unleashed by an early hierarch kid. Moreover, that terrifying aura was unforgettable to him. His lightning source had been completely depleted and he had risked his life to save his lightning source. It was the same for Jiang Chen. Although he had used the heavenly torturing seal to defeat the lightning source of Zhao Yu's drought heavenly lightning, his body was on the verge of collapsing. At the next moment, he felt like his body was being sucked dry. There was not a shred of Tao essence left in his body. The scariest thing was that he could feel his essence, qi and soul being sucked dry. If it wasn't for the myriad qi that was supporting him, he might have already collapsed. Soundless and undetectable. Too powerful. Jiang Chen was shocked. Even he himself could not believe that the heavenly seal was unleashed by him. Jiang Chen suddenly felt as if he had survived a disaster. He almost lost control of the heavenly seal. The Tao accumulation in his body was so weak that it could not withstand a single blow. He had only unleashed 30% of the heavenly seal's power, but it was already so powerful. The magnificent scene made Jiang Chen's heart palpitate. No one knew what Jiang Chen had experienced when he unleashed the heavenly seal. The shock he felt when the Tao accumulation in his body was sublimated was unforgettable to Jiang Chen. If it wasn't for him, even 10 half-step divine emperors would have been sucked dry. It was too terrifying. Now, what else do you have to say? Isn't your thunderbolt origin very powerful? Let's see who's going to devour who now. Jiang Chen suddenly opened his eyes and looked at the extremely weak lightning source within the lightning-gathering peak. The smile at the corner of his mouth became even brighter. At the same time, a hoarse voice slowly came from the 18th level of the Heaven Dragon Prison, the Earth-Fire Purgatory. Chapter 3084. Lowly human, you're not worthy. You're not worthy to take my lightning source. Damn it. You're not worthy. Zhao Yu will not yield. No, don't. Zhao Yu roared in anger, sorrow and even hysteria. He was too weak right now. He couldn't fight against Jiang Chen anymore. This human's attack was comparable to an Emperor Realm expert. That seal just now had completely destroyed his lightning dragon, causing great damage to his origin energy. If he wanted to recover, he would need at least 100 years. Obviously, Jiang Chen wasn't going to give him that chance. Your time is up, Jiang Chen said with a cold smile. Immediately, bolts of heavenly lightning were unleashed from his palm, devouring the Xiaoyu drought heavenly lightning. Jiang Chen's origin of lightning was already very weak and couldn't fight anymore. He could totally devour the two origin of heavenly lightning at this moment. Damn you, you can't kill me, you can't devour me. I'm devouring heaven. Before Xiaoyu could finish his words, Jiang Chen's lightning source engulfed him. I don't care what sky you are, I'll devour you first. Jiang Chen didn't hold back and devoured the Xiaoyu drought lightning. That violent lightning flashed. Jiang Chen could feel how furious and violent the lightning source was. But no matter what, it had no chance to change its fate because Jiang Chen had already defeated it. The Xiaoyu drought lightning could only fight back instinctively. As for how big of a wave it could cause, that wasn't up to it. Jiang Chen devoured the Xiaoyu drought lightning's lightning source, 9 stars heavenly tribulation lightning and dawn sky golden lightning. Because the lightning source of the Xiaoyu drought lightning was too violent. Even if they devoured it, they had to do it bit by bit. Jiang Chen's strength continued to recover. He was getting stronger and stronger. The speed at which he devoured the Xiaoyu drought lightning's lightning source was also increasing. At this moment, terrifying lightning struck down from the sky above the lightning-gathering peak, crashing against the soul-devouring lightning ceiling formation. The experts in Tongxian Mansion were also shocked. They had never seen such a scene before. The lightning energy on the lightning-gathering peak was always there, but it wasn't this violent. Nobody knew what was happening in the soul-devouring lightning ceiling formation. The lightning source of the Xiaoyu drought lightning kept crashing against the soul-devouring lightning ceiling formation. The experts in Tongxian Mansion were also shocked. They had never seen such a scene before. Although the lightning energy on the lightning-gathering peak was always there, it wasn't this violent. Nobody knew what was happening in the soul-devouring lightning ceiling formation. Xiaoyu drought lightning's lightning source kept crashing against the formation, making its final struggle. But it was to no avail. The instinctive resistance of the lightning source was the last song of the Xiaoyu drought lightning. Xiaoyu's voice faded into nothingness. Jiang Chen wasn't distracted. He ignored the roar of the lightning source. It was already dead. The lightning source couldn't recover. How big of a wave could it create? Do you really think I'm scared? Xiaoyu's thunderous voice gradually disappeared from the lightning-gathering peak. The violent energy in Jiang Chen's body was getting stronger and stronger. He was slowly gaining control over the source of lightning. However, the 3 sources of lightning couldn't be fused together. Instead, they were rejecting each other. This gave Jiang Chen a headache. Jiang Chen looked at his dantian, paying more and more attention to the lightning source. Even though it was devoured by him, it was still so violent. Jiang Chen had to tame it, otherwise, the lightning source of the 9 stars heavenly tribulation lightning and dawn sky golden lightning might be completely assimilated. That wasn't what Jiang Chen wanted to see. I need to quickly assimilate the violent energy of the lightning source. Alright, let's see if I can purify it with my Tao essence. Jiang Chen moved his mind and forced the lightning source into his dantian. Within the Tao essence, the violent lightning source actually calmed down. Jiang Chen gradually gained control over the lightning source. The 3 lightning sources slowly reached a silent balance. Jiang Chen smiled. It seemed like his heaven-conquering Tao was quite useful. However, the Tao essence had completely disappeared. It was impossible for Jiang Chen to use the heavenly crushing seal anymore. However, at this moment, he felt that his strength had greatly increased. The dragon marks in his body had once again undergone a qualitative change. The dragon transformation skill was also activated. His breakthrough was imminent. Middle Hierarch Realm? The powerful energy contained in the lightning source is quite surprising. Jiang Chen thought in his heart. He was fully focused on his breakthrough. This soul-devouring lightning ceiling formation should not be a problem. He only needed to break through to the middle hierarch realm and fuse the 3 lightning sources. Jiang Chen was excited thinking about it. 3 types of lightning origin energy. That kind of frightening might was definitely enough to destroy the world. Furthermore, it was completely different from the heavenly lightning and pill lightning that he had refined before. This was the lightning origin energy. It was completely incomparable. Dragon marks densely covered Jiang Chen's body. Streaks of heavenly lightning lingered in Jiang Chen's dantian. This Yu drought heavenly lightning was on par with the 9 stars heavenly tribulation lightning and the dawn sky golden lightning. Only these two lightning sources could reach a balance with it. This showed how powerful this Yu drought heavenly lightning ceiling formation was. Jiang Chen's breakthrough had no obstacles at all. The lightning source energy was too terrifying. After Jiang Chen fused with the lightning source energy, the divine origin energy in his body skyrocketed. His dragon marks sublimated. The middle hierarch realm might not seem strong, but it was a qualitative change for Jiang Chen. His current strength was enough to sweep away experts below the half-step divine emperor realm. He would not need to put in so much effort to fight against a half-step divine emperor. It was time for the soul-devouring lightning ceiling formation to break through its shackles. Xueqi was forced into a corner by Dou Qing and the other two. Every step he took was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. Furthermore, his will was on the verge of being completely obliterated. It wouldn't be long before he fell. Xueqi was only able to hold on until now. You no longer have a chance. Death is your only choice. Or surrender to me and become my slave with your soul in exchange for your life. Dou Qing said coldly. Long Xueqi was once again forced to retreat by him. He knelt on one knee and it was extremely difficult for him to stand up. At this moment, Long Xueqi was almost at the end of his rope. However, there was no other way. He had already tried his best. If he could not hold on any longer, it would be difficult for him to see Jiang Chen one last time when Jiang Chen escaped from the soul-devouring lightning ceiling formation. What was life and death, brothers? This was life and death, brothers. The reason why Long Xueqi did not fall was because of his trust in Jiang Chen. Fuck you. Dream on. Long Xueqi roared. Even if he was going to die in the next moment, he was not afraid at all. Stubborn fool. Dang. Dou Qing shouted and rushed towards Long Xueqi. At this moment, a deafening sound was heard from the lightning-gathering peak. It was like a shooting star. The entire Tongxian mansion was shocked. Chapter 3085. The lightning-gathering peak was razed to the ground in an instant. Lightning surged and the sky changed color. At this moment, the phenomenon had disappeared and the formation on the lightning-gathering peak was gone. I knew it. You won't die so easily. Xueqi said faintly. The breath that was hanging in his heart was finally released. His body that was on the verge of death finally couldn't hold on any longer and slowly fell to the ground. Dark clouds surged in the void. The sky was gloomy as if the end of the world was coming. A figure shrouded in lightning stood in the sky. His eyes were like a diamond and his aura was like a raging dragon. It was Jiang Chen. You hurt my brother and tried to suppress me here. All of you must die. Jiang Chen's cold voice reverberated in the surrounding sky. Everyone's heart was filled with shock and fear. Jiang Chen was like a devil incarnate who wanted to take his revenge. His eyes were filled with blood-red light, which made people shudder in fear. He's still alive? Didn't the second mansion master completely suppress him? An elder of the Profound Connection Divine Palace said in a deep voice with an ugly expression. Yeah, that's the peerless formation left by the great mansion master. How could it be destroyed just like that? Lin Yokong's face was gloomy. He knew that the crisis of Tongxian Mansion was coming. This kid can't be underestimated. The formation has been destroyed, but why do I feel that there's something missing? The great elder murmured. He did not know where the problem was. However, Jiang Chen had given them a huge shock. Moreover, he had already broken through to the mid-hierarch realm. When he was at the early hierarch realm, he could already defy the heavens and change his destiny by defeating the second prefecture master and killing the third prefecture master. Now that he had broken through to the early hierarch realm, the great elder should be able to understand that Jiang Chen had become even more terrifying. This kid cannot be judged by common sense. Is Tongxian Mansion really going to be destroyed? Impossible. There are 3 half-step deity emperors here. Even if Jiang Chen could escape from the lightning-gathering peak, he wouldn't be able to turn the situation around. He's just a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. Humph. It's hard to say. Jiang Chen has changed too many things. Recently, the entire Tongxian Mansion is in troubled times. Jiang Chen even killed and seriously injured 2 mansion masters. Maybe Jiang Chen can really change the fate of our Tongxian Mansion. Let's see if the 3 half-step deity emperors can bring him to justice. Now that the 2 prefecture masters have passed away, where should we go? the students of Tongxian Mansion began to feel anxious. Not everyone was in danger, but Jiang Chen's sudden appearance had changed everyone's thoughts and views. They did not know where they would go if Jiang Chen really destroyed Tongxian Mansion. This problem was pressing. No one wanted to think about it, but it was a reality that they had to face. Yu Chenglong looked at Jiang Chen's proud figure. His heart was full of contradictions. There was even a trace of fear in his heart. Will Jiang Chen really attack me? All these years, he had taken care of Sister Zhu. Even if he didn't make any contributions, he had put in a lot of effort. Even though Yu Chenglong betrayed Wu Ningzhu in order to obtain the power of a hierarch realm expert. Even though Wu Ningzhu did not know about it. Deep in Yu Chenglong's heart, he was still tormented. Every man for himself. This was the law of survival since ancient times. No one could escape the fate of the great world. Even if he died for Wu Ningzhu might not remember him. Wouldn't she still be with Jiang Chen? What was he after? Selfless love? That was bullshit. Only a true expert could stand tall in the world and ignore everyone's contempt. Yu Chenglong had a clear conscience. He was just following his heart. He liked Wu Ningzhu, but it did not mean that he had to die for Wu Ningzhu. Moreover, Jiang Chen had appeared. Even if Wu Ningzhu died, she would not die in his arms. This was too painful for Yu Chenglong. He didn't want to sink into depravity, and he didn't want his life to be ruined because of Wu Ningzhu. He vaguely remembered his mother's warning before she passed away, that he must become a powerhouse, a peerless powerhouse who could stand above everyone else in this world. Now he was getting closer and closer to this step. Wu Ningzhu's appearance had destroyed his path of being a genius, and also destroyed his determination to pursue the path of a powerhouse. Now that Wu Ningzhu was about to leave him, he had no choice but to do it. At the last moment, he almost killed Wu Ningzhu. Yu Chenglong's heart was on tenterhooks and he couldn't believe it. Fortunately, Jiang Chen saved Wu Ningzhu at the last moment. Even if Wu Ningzhu died, it was Jiang Chen's fault for not protecting her. It had nothing to do with him anymore. This was his final decision. Success was already beckoning to him. Although Yu Chenglong was struggling, he was extremely excited deep down in his heart. He had finally reached the hierarch realm. Those who idolized him in the past had finally witnessed the true strength of the 3 outer mansion dragon heads. 2 dragon heads had fallen, and he was the only one left. Didn't this mean that he was stronger and more resilient? Yu Chenglong liked the feeling of being surrounded by his senior and junior brothers. He liked the feeling of being above everyone else. When Jiang Chen won the outer mansion battle, Yu Chenglong's heart was filled with endless loneliness. He swore that one day, he would become like Jiang Chen, who everyone looked forward to and envied. Yu Chenglong was a little afraid. After all, the current Jiang Chen was too terrifying. He hoped that the 3 half-step divine emperors could defeat and kill him. Then, Tongxian Mansion would return to peace. At that time, he would be the new pillar of Tongxian Mansion. Seniors of the Battle God clan, it's all up to you now. Yu Chenglong murmured. Wu Ningzhu was still lingering in his heart. However, his dream of becoming an expert had already set sail. He would not allow himself to fall into depravity. It's just that your brother's skills are not as good as others. What other tricks do you have? Killing the 3rd Mansion Lord and defeating the 2nd Mansion Lord, in my opinion, it's just luck. Have you ever seen the true Do formation technique? Do you think that you can show off in front of the experts of the Battle God clan after breaking through the shackles of the formation? Kid, you're still too young. You're not qualified to fight against us. Hand over the inheritance of immortal execution, Great Emperor. Otherwise, don't blame me for being ruthless. Do Qing said. Now that the 2nd Mansion Lord was dead, Tongxian Mansion was in a mess. Without a leader, they would be thankful if he could kill Jiang Chen and return them peace. Even if he obtained the inheritance of immortal execution, Great Emperor, it wouldn't matter to them. The inheritance you want is right here. Come and take it if you're capable. Jiang Chen smiled faintly, pointed at himself and said to Do Qing with a hint of disdain. Do Qing and the other 2 half-step divine emperors' countenance changed drastically. This reckless junior dared to provoke them. How could they tolerate him? Wait till I kill you. Then, everything will change. Do Qing rushed towards Jiang Chen. Under the gaze of the entire Tongxian Mansion, 4 silhouettes turned into 4 rays of light and collided with each other. I had a dream last night. I dreamt that I appeared in Saint Origin World with thousands of fans. We overcome all obstacles and fought for supremacy. Can the dream of being a hero come true? While I was writing, a friend who makes games called me and invited me to participate in the creation of a mobile game. It's called. What's interesting is that I can get Durex from killing monsters. Chapter 3086. Jiang Chen clenched his fists and punched out heavily, withstanding the attacks of the two half-step divine emperors. He retreated quickly and calmly. Jiang Chen roared and attacked in his dragon form. He formed a seal with both of his hands and struck out. The 5 elemental divine dragon seal turned into the 9 heavens divine dragon and gathered together. The 5 dragons fused together and the seal was overturned, shaking the heavens and earth. The divine dragon swept across the heavens and earth. Jiang Chen was forced to retreat after a single strike. The 2 half-step divine emperors did not want to be outdone and fought back against Jiang Chen. What a powerful technique! The 2 half-step divine emperors were shocked. Jiang Chen's cultivation realm was only at the mid-hierarch realm, but he was able to fight against them so calmly and effortlessly. How could they not be shocked by his skills? Dou Qing harumphed coldly and quickly joined the fray. The 3 of them were barely able to suppress Jiang Chen, but Jiang Chen was not a weakling. Instead, he became more and more courageous as the battle went on. He did not show any signs of defeat even though he was fighting 1 against 3. Undeniably, the 3 of them were too strong. Even with Jiang Chen's techniques after his breakthrough, he could only remain undefeated. Instead, he was constantly forced to retreat. 3,000 Burning Sky Seal. Jiang Chen used the Chen Kuan technique again and merged his divine fire. The 3,000 Burning Sky Seal rose from the void and crushed the 2 half-step divine emperors. However, he was hit by Dou Qing's palm. Jiang Chen's eyes flashed with coldness. Good fella. Not bad. Unfortunately, you're still too weak. You're just digging your own grave by fighting against me. Dou Qing snorted. The 3 of them intensified their attacks. Jiang Chen was not to be outdone. His sword qi was graceful and the limitless sword swept through the void. 11th sword. Dou Qing chose to retreat in order to advance. Facing Jiang Chen's limitless sword, they chose to evade its sharpness and fight in a roundabout way. It showed that the 3 of them had prepared well for this moment. Do you really think you can win against the experts of our Battle God clan? Tongxian Mansion was just careless. When the real Great Prefecture Lord returns, you'll die without a burial place. However, I can't wait for that moment. You can only belong to our Battle God clan. Because you have secretly learned our Battle God clan's battle formation technique, I must punish you later. Obviously, Dou Qing's words were meant for the people of Profound Connection Divine Palace. Everyone knew about this. When the experts of the Battle God clan attacked, the Great Elder and the others already knew why they were here. Even though Jiang Chen had killed their palace lord, they still did not have the qualifications to keep Jiang Chen here. Therefore, it was reasonable for Dou Qing to take Jiang Chen away. Dou Qing wanted to take away Jiang Chen. You can always find a way to frame someone. What you want is the inheritance of the immortal execution Great Emperor. Unfortunately, I'll have to disappoint you because you are not qualified. Jiang Chen rushed forward again. He wanted to avenge Long Shersan. He wanted Dou Qing to pay the price. He was suppressed, attacked, and sealed in the soul-devouring thunder-sealing formation. Jiang Chen wanted to deal a fatal blow to Dou Qing. Jiang Chen rushed forward step by step. Sword shadows filled the sky like rain. The limitless sword had reached its limit. Jiang Chen finally displayed a stronger sword. 12th sword. The power of the 12th sword was far more terrifying than the 11th sword. This was the sword technique that Jiang Chen had comprehended when he was feeling the great path of heaven and earth. However, he could not display it. He could feel the 13th sword, but the control of the sword will of the 13th sword was not something that the current Jiang Chen could change. However, the power of the 12th sword against Dou Qing and the others was already quite impressive. The 3 of them were forced back by Jiang Chen. They were evenly matched and no one could gain the slightest advantage. Formation. Dou Qing shouted in anger and said solemnly. The 3 of them formed a formation. At this moment, even Jiang Chen did not expect that they would be so well prepared. This formation used the Profound Connection Divine Palace as the cauldron and its purpose was to revolve around the Profound Connection Divine Palace. What a great reinforcement. Ha ha ha, it is better to say that you are scheming to control me. The Tongxian Mansion is in the palm of your hand. Even the formation has been set up. It seems that you have planned this beforehand. Jiang Chen said with a cold smile. Dou Qing's formation did make him slightly surprised. However, the formation that the three of them controlled was extremely complicated. It was not something that could be set up in an instant. In other words, they had already set up everything. All of this seemed to be to lure the snake out of its hole, and Jiang Chen was the snake. Boy, death is at hand. Don't struggle anymore. This formation is specially prepared for you. Seal-in formation. Don't forget how the Battle God clan stood at the peak of the divine world. Dou Qing said proudly. The Battle God clan was famous for their Dou formation technique. Who didn't know about this? However, from the beginning till the end, they did not use any formation. Even when they were fighting against Jiang Chen, they did not use any formation. However, at this moment, Dou Qing had no choice but to use the formation that he had prepared. He had been waiting for this moment. Initially, this formation was set up for the second mansion master. However, Long San appeared out of nowhere. Dou Qing had no choice but to take advantage of the situation. Now that he was fighting against Jiang Chen, it was like pushing the boat along with the current. As soon as the seal-in formation was formed, Jiang Chen was sealed in the formation. Jiang Chen's eyes narrowed. He soared up to the sky and slashed down with his sword. However, it was as if he had slashed at the sea. He could not even stir up a ripple. The terrifying suction force directly melted the sword light of Jiang Chen. Everyone was shocked. At this moment, it seemed like Jiang Chen could not escape. Jiang Chen's terrifying sword qi swept across the sky. However, the sword qi was melted by the formation. The power of the three of them formed a cage. Jiang Chen could not break through it at all. Boy, don't waste your energy. Not many Divine Emperor experts could break through this formation. Because this formation was set up by the power of the three of us. Our power is completely combined and twisted into a rope. It's not something that you can break through. Even in the Battle God clan, only the Patriarch can break through this formation. Humph! Don't be so arrogant. You can't break through my seal-in formation. Dou Qing swore. To him, the seal-in formation was formed by the blood essence of the three of them. Moreover, it did not require too many complicated procedures. The three of them used their souls to set up the formation. This was one of the strongest techniques of the Battle God clan. The Battle God clan is most proud of their formation. Now that Jiang Chen is trapped in the formation, it will be very difficult for him to break through it. Phew! We can finally breathe a sigh of relief. This guy is a devil incarnate. How can he be so strong? It's completely beyond our knowledge. He who commits too much evil will bring about his own destruction. He asked for it. Going against our Tongxian mansion is just asking to be humiliated. Humph. Sigh. It's so ironic. Although Jiang Chen is being controlled by the formation and his life is in danger, the one who defeated him is not from our Tongxian mansion. Hehe. The Great Elder and the others murmured in a low voice. In conclusion, the Tongxian mansion was saved. At least the Great Mansion Master was still alive. Once the Great Mansion Master returned, the Battle God clan would be able to rise again. However, the Tongxian mansion had to keep a low profile compared to the other three divine mansions. Otherwise, they would not be able to face the might of the divine mansions from the other prefectures. Can you really control me with such a weak technique? Your Battle God clan is famous for their formations. I, Jiang Chen, am worthy of my reputation. Today, I'll let you all witness who is the real Array Grandmaster. Chapter 3087. A True Formation Grandmaster? Ha ha, I also want to see if your attainments in array formations are better than the three of us. Don't disappoint me. Dou Qing laughed, completely disregarding Jiang Chen. This fella is boasting. Wanting to surpass me in formation? That was ridiculous. Although Dou Qing did not dare to say that he was invincible in the field of formations, he dared to say that the number of people in the entire northern Coal Divine region who were better than him in the field of formations could be counted with 2 hands. However, Jiang Chen was just a nobody. How could he think that his attainments in the field of formations could surpass his? Wasn't this bullshit? There were countless formation masters in the Battle God clan. There were more than a dozen grandmasters, and Dou Qing could definitely be ranked in the top 5. The Battle God clan was known for their formations. He was confident that Jiang Chen wouldn't be able to fight back if he used the Sealing-in formation. Jiang Chen wanted to use the formation to defeat him? That was just a fool's dream. Then let's see whose formation is better. Jiang Chen said with a faint smile. His body transformed into 9 supreme beings, forming into a formation. This is the third time he used the 9 Supreme Saint Bones Pills effect. The remaining 9 Supreme Saint Bones Pills effect in his body has been depleted by 30%. But to Jiang Chen, this 9 Supreme Saint Bones Pill is definitely enough to deal with Do Qing's Yin Sealing formation. One body transforming into 9 supreme beings? Unfortunately, it's useless against my Yin Sealing formation. Do Qing said confidently. He knows how terrifying the 9 Supreme Saint Bones Pill is, but he is also very confident in his formation. No one can easily escape from his Yin Sealing formation. With the 9 venerables forming a formation, Jiang Chen was able to resist the pressure of the sealing Yin formation. Between the 9 venerables, there was a surplus of energy. His formation was not weak at all. 9 Supreme Battle Formation. Jiang Chen shouted. The 9 Supremes instantly turned into 9 shadows of the heavens and spread out. One after another, the shadows of dragons appeared and fought against the sealing Yin formation. Within the sealing Yin formation, a cold wind was blowing and waves were rolling. The surrounding heaven and earth were shaking. Countless disciples of the Profound Connection Divine Palace retreated from the area to avoid hurting the innocent. If they didn't leave as soon as possible, they might be buried together with the demi-monarch realm's might. They couldn't resist it. Retreat! Lin Yukong bellowed, causing the God King students to leave quickly. Jiang Chen's 9 Supreme Battle Formation is incomparably terrifying. Facing the cold wind of the Yin Sealing formation, it was unmoved like a mountain. The 9 figures kept unleashing their aura, trying to break the formation, but it was to no avail. However, the 2 sides fell into a stalemate, because no one could gain the upper hand. Both sides fell into a stalemate, one attacking and one defending. In the 9 Supreme Battle Formation, each of Jiang Chen's original body is extremely powerful, forcing Do Qing to defend. However, the Yin Sealing formation is formed by the blood and souls of the 3 of them, so they value it more and are more connected. This point is not inferior to Jiang Chen's 9 Supreme Battle Formation. I didn't expect you to be evenly matched with me. Do Qing was extremely shocked and said with a sigh. His strength was obvious to all. Being one of the 3 great formation masters of the Battle God clan, he could not gain the upper hand over Jiang Chen in terms of formation. Instead, he was in a stalemate. To Do Qing, this is a great humiliation. How could Jiang Chen's 9 Supreme Battle Formation resist his Yin Sealing formation? Junior brothers, hurry up. We must defeat him as soon as possible. No one can defeat the people of the Battle God clan in terms of formation. Do Qing transmitted his voice to the 2 junior brothers of the clan. The 2 of them nodded silently. The 3 of them pushed forward. Jiang Chen also felt the gale in the Yin Sealing formation rising and pressing down again. His 9 Supreme Battle Formation is on the verge of collapse. From this, it can be seen that the experts of the Battle God clan are not ordinary people. Jiang Chen cannot underestimate them. After all, this is the special skill of the Battle God clan. Without the No Beginning formation as a reference, Jiang Chen may not be able to judge whether he will be suppressed by Do Qing's formation or not. Good. Jiang Chen was not surprised. Instead, he was delighted. Only in this way could he stimulate his potential. Only in this way could he unleash his full strength. 9 dragons emerged from the 9 Supreme Battle Formation. Dragon shadows were faintly discernible. At this moment, the dragon transformation skill was circulated to the maximum. Jiang Chen also unleashed his full strength to fight against Do Qing and the other 2. At this moment, both of them had unleashed their full strength. Terrifying airwaves from the 9 Supreme Battle Formation overturned the horizon time after time and smashed against the Yin Sealing formation. Do Qing's expression was cold. Facing Jiang Chen's 9 Supreme Battle Formation, he did not dare to be negligent. This formation naturally had its merits since it could fight against his Yin Sealing formation. The 2 formations continuously collided. Jiang Chen did not hold back and wanted to charge out. Without exception, all 9 of the 9 Supreme Battle Formation had unleashed their full strength. Damn it. Don't even think about breaking through the formation. Both of you, unleash the 4-star Do formation technique. Do Qing spoke again. The 3 of them were of one mind and unleashed the 4-star Do formation technique in one go. The terror of the Yin Sealing formation instantly multiplied by several folds. Jiang Chen's 9 supreme battle formation was constantly being compressed and gathered together. Do formation technique? You're not the only one who knows it. Jiang Chen sneered as he unleashed the Do formation technique continuously. The destructive explosive power caused the 9 supreme battle formation to reach an unprecedented level. The 9 supreme battle formation and the Yin sealing formation had both reached the level of the 4-star Do formation technique. At that moment, Do Qing's face turned even uglier. The Do formation technique was a secret technique of the Battle God clan. But now, it had become a means for others to fight with him. It was too ironic. Do Qingji was unwilling to give up. The two of them continued to clash against each other, causing the power of the formation to become more and more terrifying. Both of them had already reached their peak. Regardless of whether it was the 9 extremes battle formation or the sealing Yin formation, both of them were already on the verge of collapsing. That was because the two formations were about to completely merge together. Whoever's formation was stronger would be able to stand out from the rest. However, the power of the two formations was too close to each other, causing the two terrifying formations to almost cancel each other out. At that moment, if the two formations were to completely cancel each other out, it was possible that they would be heavily injured. 9 Supreme Battle Formation. Charge! Jiang Chen roared angrily. The 9 Supremes rose and soared into the sky. If you want to break my formation, go back and practice for a few thousand years. 5-star Do formation technique. Jiang Chen, you must have never expected this. Ha ha ha. Chapter 3088. I've already said that you are no match for me. The Do formation technique can only be used by a true expert of the Battle God clan. Do Qing said arrogantly. Jiang Chen's defeat was already a foregone conclusion. Jiang Chen spurted out a mouthful of blood and the surrounding void was constantly compressed. Jiang Chen was ultimately defeated by the 9 Supremes. He smiled bitterly and shook his head. However, his greatest gain was that he had comprehended the 5-star Do formation technique at the critical moment. All of this was thanks to Do Qing. If he had not used the 5-star Do formation technique, he might not have been able to completely comprehend the mystery of the 5-star Do formation technique. From the beginning, Jiang Chen had the attitude of giving it a try because he wasn't sure how many stars Do Qing's Do formation technique could display, but at least it wouldn't be too bad. If Do Qing's Do formation technique was stronger than Jiang Chen's, would Jiang Chen's Do formation technique be improved in this battle? Although it was a little risky, Jiang Chen still decided to give it a try. The result was obvious. He had succeeded. From Do Qing's 5-star Do formation technique, he had gained a deep understanding and perfected his own Do formation technique. His injury was definitely worth it. 5-star Do formation technique? I wonder if this one counts. Jiang Chen clenched his fist and 108 primordial spirit weapons instantly scattered around him. The Ashura sword formation was set up again. Jiang Chen wanted to use the power of the 5-star Do formation technique to counter Do Qing's 5-star Do formation technique. What? You can also use the 5-star Do formation technique? This is impossible. Do Qing could not believe what he had seen. How long had it been since Jiang Chen came into contact with the Do formation technique? Do Qing had already cultivated for tens of millions of years in the clan before he could comprehend the 5-star Do formation technique. Even the clan leader had only comprehended the 6-star Do formation technique. The true 7-star Do formation technique could only be set up by the ancestors of the Battle God clan during the Valley period. However, Jiang Chen could actually use the 5-star Do formation technique. Why? Do Qing continued to roar. In the blink of an eye, the sword formation was completed. Jiang Chen's eyes were filled with killing intent. The 5-star Do formation technique was completed. This time, he would give them a taste of their own medicine. Since the 5-star Do formation technique was the strongest technique of the Battle God clan, he would use his 5 Do formation to break the Do Qing. The sealing Yin formation continued to compress the space around Jiang Chen. His Ashura sword formation had also reached a terrifying level. The sword formation had been completed and the sword chi was released. Where Jiang Chen's sword pointed, the 108,000 swords rose up and struck the sealing Yin formation and the 3 half-step divine emperors of the Battle God clan. The 108,000 swords converged into a terrifying sword light. The sword light became more and more majestic and terrifying. The sword light finally converged into one point. The ceiling Yin formation that was supported by the 5 stars Do formation technique was finally broken by Jiang Chen. The 108,000 swords also exhausted the power of the sword light and disappeared. Jiang Chen's Ashura sword formation was also neutralized and the ceiling Yin formation of the Battle God clan turned into starlight. Poof! Do Qing and the other 2 half-step divine emperors were severely injured. Jiang Chen was no exception. This was a tit-for-tat battle and it was an evenly matched battle. In the end, both sides were heavily injured. Do Qing and the other 2 half-step divine emperors were completely integrated with the formation. Their injuries were extremely serious when the ceiling Yin formation was broken. Jiang Chen was no exception. The injuries caused by the 9 extremes battle formation were not to be underestimated. Jiang Chen slowly stood up and wiped the blood off the corner of his mouth. He stood in front of Do Qing and the other 2 half-step divine emperors. That kind of arrogance was enough to make one's hair stand on end. It sent chills down one's spine. Jiang Chen, you have truly shocked me. I can even say that there are only a handful of people in the northern cold divine region who are more powerful than you, Do Qing said sincerely. Do Qing said from the bottom of his heart. None of the 3 half-step emperors managed to gain the upper hand in the life-and-death battle with Jiang Chen. Moreover, they were injured by Jiang Chen. Although Jiang Chen was not as lucky as them, the result disappointed Do Qing as he failed to kill Jiang Chen. It's good that you know. Now, it's time for me to take your lives. Jiang Chen said. These people must die. Otherwise, how could he face Long Shersan? His brothers were almost killed. Jiang Chen had no reason to let them go. A group of sanctimonious people. They claimed to be the reinforcements from Tongxian Mansion, but they had their own schemes. They were all despicable schemers. Isn't it too early to be happy now? Do you really think that the experts of the Battle God clan will be defeated so easily? Jiang Chen, I have to admit that you are very strong. However, you are unlucky to have met me, Do Qing. Do Qing said with a smile. Do you still have any trump cards? Just do it. If you don't, your life might end here. Jiang Chen said indifferently. This Do Qing had already revealed everything. What other trump cards could he have? The fact that the Battle God clan could send out 3 half-step divine emperors was already enough to shock Jiang Chen. The dignity of the Battle God clan cannot be violated. You have taken the Do formation technique of the Battle God clan. You must die. Do Qing took a step forward and stared at Jiang Chen. Both of them refused to give in to each other. Do Qing slowly took out a black roulette. The roulette was engraved with many obscure and strange inscriptions. Jiang Chen's eyes narrowed. This strange black roulette had an extremely terrifying devouring power. It was definitely a very strange treasure. Although it might not reach the level of a primal origin treasure, its strangeness and uniqueness made Jiang Chen take precautions. This great earth roulette belongs to the ancestors of the Battle God clan. The patriarch gave it to me when he sent me to the West Pole Divine Land to carry out a mission. I never thought that it would come in handy here. The power of this great earth roulette can withstand a strike from a divine emperor expert. Similarly, it can also make a divine emperor expert frown. You can die under my great earth roulette. Do Qing said proudly. His eyes were filled with radiance. He caressed the great earth roulette in his hand. With the great earth roulette in his hand, he was not afraid at all. Even if he and Jiang Chen were both injured, this great earth roulette could still take back his glory. Then let's see if you can withstand this strike of mine. Jiang Chen smiled. Withstand a strike from a divine emperor expert? I wonder if you'll be able to withstand the fusion of my 3 bolts of heavenly lightning? Bring it on, Jiang Chen. You will definitely feel despair for your stupidity. Ha! Do Qing pointed at Jiang Chen with the great earth roulette in his hand. He was full of confidence, ready to have a life-and-death battle with Jiang Chen. Then watch carefully. I will not use this strike a second time. Because if you want to see it a second time, you might have to wait until your next life. The corner of Jiang Chen's mouth curled up. He moved his hand slowly and 3 heavenly lightning gradually gathered at this moment. Chapter 3089. It's the heavenly lightning? Do Qing frowned. This fellow is really strange. Moreover, 3 heavenly lightning appeared at the same time. Even the 2 half-step deity emperors behind him looked serious. No matter how many tricks you have up your sleeves, they will all be overshadowed by my great earth wheel. Do Qing waved his hand disdainfully. However, the 3 heavenly lightning in Jiang Chen's hand had already started to take shape. Jiang Chen's expression was cold. The 3 heavenly lightning in his hand slowly fused together. The terrifying explosive aura was constantly intensifying and getting more and more terrifying. 3 types of heavenly lightning. Moreover, Jiang Chen had fused his origin energy into the heavenly lightning. That kind of power was absolutely incomparable to the previous explosion of the pill lightning. Wind and clouds suddenly rose in the surrounding weather. Even the air seemed to be mixed with traces of lightning. Lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. Heavenly thunder exploded. Rumble, rumble. The shock of the heavenly lightning fusion made everyone's mouth dry. The terrifying aura once again fused together. That was an oppressive and suffocating feeling that no one could imagine. The heavenly lightning fusion is really strong. This fella has used it before, but it was not as strong as this time. The heavenly lightning in Jiang Chen's body fused together. That kind of terrifying explosion could almost flatten the entire Tongxian mansion. Why does it feel like the end of the world? Is this fella's heavenly lightning fusion really that terrifying? Those disciples of the profound connection divine palace who were at a loss of what to do were slightly frightened. They were not sure how strong Jiang Chen's attack was, even though they were far away from the profound connection divine palace and were looking at each other from afar. 3 types of heavenly lightning fusion. Jiang Chen is too terrifying. This fella is a madman. Dong Huang Tai murmured. No one knew how terrifying Jiang Chen was as compared to them who came from the Lone Dragon County. Jiang Chen had risen from the Linhe boundary step by step. Jiang Chen was like a terrifying sword, unparalleled and undefeated. The current Jiang Chen had already left them behind. In this world where strength was everything, no one was worthy of sympathy and pity. Only the strong could survive. Can Jiang Chen really win against 3 half-step divine emperors? Mo Qihan murmured. They had witnessed Jiang Chen's strength. It was a piece of cake for him to fight those who were at a higher realm than him. However, his opponents were too strong this time. Jiang Chen had tried his best, killing the 3rd Mansion Lord and heavily injuring the 2nd Mansion Lord. They hoped that Jiang Chen could defeat the others and become the final winner. I have to say, you're indeed a monstrous genius. To fuse the heavenly lightning together, it's such a dangerous and suicidal method. But no matter what, you can't stop me from becoming your enemy. My great earth roulette is unstoppable. Ha! Do Qing was still howling arrogantly. His aura continued to rise, and he had the absolute initiative. How could he lose to the crowd? I hope that what you've imagined will be as you wish. Jiang Chen said faintly without any distractions. The 3 heavenly lightning had already fused together. A green, blue and purple lotus slowly appeared on Jiang Chen's hand. It was extremely strange, enchanting and surging. Jiang Chen could even feel the terrifying aura of extinction coming from the Death Lightning Lotus. It was as if everything would perish under the Death Lightning Lotus. That kind of fear made Jiang Chen's heart palpitate. Come, is this your final ability? I hope you won't disappoint me. Do Qing sneered. As you wish. As Jiang Chen moved his palm, the dark clouds and thunder curtains seemed to tremble at this moment. The entire Tongxian Mansion's mountain range shook continuously. The surrounding void seemed to have been restricted. A deathly aura was emitted from the Death Lightning Lotus that Jiang Chen had thrown out. The 3-colored Death Lightning Lotus exploded. The destructive aura caused almost half of the buildings in the Tongxian Mansion to be destroyed. Even the Heavenly Dragon Tower was heavily damaged and collapsed layer by layer. The Tongxian Mansion could be said to have been destroyed in a day. The Death Lightning Lotus that was filled with deathly aura made Do Qing's pupils dilate. He raised the Great Earth Roulette and struck it out forcefully. However, at that moment, Do Qing's heart trembled a little. He suddenly felt the despair and fear when the Death Lightning Lotus bloomed in his eyes. The Great Earth Roulette seemed to have lost its power. The remaining 2 half-step deity emperors were devoured by the heavenly lightning fusion almost at the same time when the Death Lightning Lotus exploded. Their souls were scattered and not even a trace of their bodies was left. The dazzling radiance made people not dare to look at it directly. Do Qing retreated again and again while striking out the Great Earth Roulette. However, he heard the sound that he was most unwilling to hear. The Great Earth Roulette started to crack at this moment. Crack, crack, crack. No, this is impossible. My Great Earth Roulette. Do Qing screamed continuously. He had never experienced such despair before in his life. The Great Earth Roulette had withstood the first wave of attacks. When the Death Lightning Lotus was released, the Great Earth Roulette could not withstand it anymore and shattered. Do Qing had used all his strength, but he was also struck by the Heavenly Lightning Tribulation. He was severely injured. His clothes were torn and tattered and his body was extremely weak. He knelt on the ground on both knees and was on the verge of death. If it wasn't for the Great Earth Roulette, he would have been dead by now. Do Qing had boasted before, but now, he couldn't even protect himself. The scariness of the Death Lightning Lotus made him realize how stupid he was to take Jiang Chen's attack head-on. However, in the end he had failed. It was a terrible defeat that was unbearable to look at. His defeat had caused the Battle God clan to lose face. Do Qing spurted out a mouthful of blood. He was in high spirits as he walked out of the Battle God clan. He had wanted to go to the West Pole Divine region and leave after obtaining some benefits from the Tongxian mansion. However, who would have thought that he would suffer such a calamity? The aura of death permeated Do Qing's heart. When he raised his head, it was already gone. The Tongxian mansion is finished. The Great Elder murmured. Although he was unwilling to admit it, the Heavenly Dragon Pagoda had already collapsed. The Thunder Gathering Peak had also collapsed. The entire Tongxian mansion was in ruins. Thousands of students were in a daze. The Tongxian mansion that they were so proud of had collapsed at this moment. The explosive power of the Death Lightning Lotus caused airwaves to roll out, causing the entire Profound Connection Divine Palace to turn into a pile of ruins, shocking everyone. Chapter 3090. The Great Elder was dumbfounded. Lin Yukong, Yu Chenglong, Gu Maolu, Dong Huang Tai A, and everyone else were dumbfounded. Jiang Chen fought against the three martial emperors in a fit of rage. The whole Tongxian mansion was razed to the ground. It was unimaginable. In front of Jiang Chen, they were like ants. The feeling of powerlessness and defeat was not something that could be experienced by ordinary people, especially the Great Elder and the others. They could not bear to look at the tragic scene of Tongxian mansion. To them it was hopeless. It was like a bolt from the blue. However, the truth was that Tongxian mansion had collapsed. Their faith had collapsed in an instant. The second and third mansion masters were dead. Their last hope was the great mansion master. However, the great mansion master was nowhere to be found. He was wandering around the world, totally unaware of the crisis that Tongxian mansion was in. The Great Elder, Lin Yukong and the others looked at each other and smiled bitterly. They had already made up their minds to face death. Because once Tongxian mansion collapsed, they would not be able to survive. Jiang Chen was a ruthless person. He would never allow them to live. The Great Elder had already expected this. The heavens want our Tongxian mansion to perish. The Great Elder sighed. His face was pale. He had lived for thousands of years, yet he could not escape from the misfortune. This catastrophe was too shocking for the Tongxian mansion. Our Tongxian mansion has really collapsed. Is this the power of Jiang Chen? Even the two great mansion masters and three half-step divine emperors could not even withstand a single blow from him. What are we? Perhaps this is fate. Tongxian mansion was supposed to face this calamity. However, no one would have thought that they would die in the hands of their own people. It's like nurturing a tiger and inviting calamity. Such a person will definitely stand at the peak of the heavens and earth. We will not be able to reach him. Today, we are fortunate enough to witness the birth of a true great emperor. The students of Tongxian mansion were filled with emotions. They were all students of Tongxian mansion and cultivated step by step from the outer mansion. However, they were worlds apart compared to Jiang Chen. Who would not be jealous? Who would not be emotional? Everyone had the heart of an expert. The law of the divine world was that only the strong would be respected. Only the strong could have a foothold in the divine world where there were hundreds of races and experts. Even a hierarch expert would not dare to say that he was invincible. Even a divine emperor expert would not dare to say that he was unparalleled in the world. Perhaps only an emperor expert would have the ability to control the heavens. Do Qing's aura was extremely weak and he could even die at any time. The two brothers behind him were instantly killed by Jiang Chen. This was like a bolt from the blue. Do Qing could not even protect himself and he did not stand a chance at all. Facing Jiang Chen's Death Thunder Lotus, even though he took out the Great Earth Roulette, it was still useless. The Great Earth Roulette turned into dust under the Death Thunder Lotus of Jiang Chen, leaving nothing behind. Dou Qing had used all his strength to survive under the situation where the Great Earth Roulette had blocked 90% of its power. However, he no longer had the ability to fight against Jiang Chen. He was like a fish on Jiang Chen's chopping block, completely becoming Jiang Chen's prisoner. If Jiang Chen moved, his life would be gone. Dou Qing looked at Jiang Chen in extreme fear. His life was already in the hands of his opponent and he was in a precarious situation. His life was hanging by a thread. He had tried his best, but he still failed in the end. He was defeated by a hierarch and was defeated by the Battle God clan's secret technique, Dou Formation Technique. To Dou Qing, this was more painful than being killed. However, since he did not die, he still had the desire to live. Everyone had the will to live. Dou Qing was not a righteous hero. In the face of death, he had to give in. He was full of confidence but he was defeated in the end. Although it was embarrassing, it was better to live than to die. Now, what else do you have to say? Jiang Chen said coldly. He had already sentenced Dou Qing to death. This guy must be killed. Otherwise, the Battle God clan would send more powerful experts to deal with him in the future. However, a half-emperor like Dou Qing was already considered as a top expert. Even if the Battle God clan sent more experts to deal with him, they might not be that strong. Can you spare my life? I'm begging you. The Battle God clan will definitely repay you. Dou Qing gritted his teeth and said. He was a half-emperor realm expert who had never blinked his eyes in the northern cold divine region. However, he was now submissive to a hierarch realm kid. Dou Qing had endured great humiliation. However, he had no other way to survive. Your Battle God clan sees me as a thorn in your flesh. Letting you go this time is equivalent to letting a tiger go back to the mountain. Will your Battle God clan let me go? Do you believe it? Jiang Chen snorted. This guy was talking nonsense. If he was deceived by him, he would be a fool. He had killed several experts from the Battle God clan, including 2 half-step divine emperors. This hatred was irreconcilable. No matter how magnanimous the Battle God clan was, it was impossible for them to reconcile with him. How could Jiang Chen not understand this? This Dou Qing was just talking to himself. Dou Qing held his breath. He knew that he had underestimated Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen was not fooled. Since it has come to this, you have already killed 2 of my Battle God clan's experts. Why don't we bury the hatchet? I'll tell you a big secret and you let me go. Is this a good deal? Dou Qing said in a deep voice. This was his last chance to live. He had lost the ability to fight in front of Jiang Chen. He could not move an inch now. Tell me about it. Jiang Chen said faintly and looked at Dou Qing with interest. Dou Qing was overjoyed. As long as Jiang Chen was interested, he would have a chance to live. The reincarnated living Buddha has been born in the West Pole Divine region. Moreover, our Battle God clan knows that the God-suppressing monument has appeared. In less than 100 years, the entire West Pole Divine region will be in chaos. We are the first to receive this news. As long as we get the reincarnated living Buddha and the God-suppressing monument, we will be able to command everyone. The entire West Pole Divine region will be in chaos. Now, the West Pole Divine region is completely divided. The God-suppressing monument is the supreme divine weapon that can unify the West Pole Divine region. Dou Qing said word by word. God-suppressing monument? Jiang Chen's pupils shrank and his expression changed. The person holding the God-suppressing monument must be a monk. It has been more than 100 years. Did this guy cause trouble in the West Pole Divine region again? However, Jiang Chen believed that this guy would not suffer any loss. In the past, this guy was always the one who cheated others in the 9 regions immortal world. But now, Jiang Chen was still a little worried. After all, the divine world was not like the 9 regions immortal world where they came from. The true experts were as numerous as the clouds in the sky. No one knew how many experts were standing at the peak of this world. Even though Jiang Chen's current strength had the ability to fight against a half-step divine emperor, it was still difficult for him to fight against a true divine emperor expert. You know about the God-suppressing monument? Dou Qing was overjoyed. Since Jiang Chen knew about the God-suppressing monument, he understood the relationship between the God-suppressing monument and the reincarnated living Buddha. In order to recover his damaged soul, Jiang Chen went to Red City. In Red City, he met the heroine, Yan Chenyu, and helped the Misty Rain Tower to defeat their opponents. He became the overlord of Red City and obtained the blood-winged hawk's demon spirit to fly in the sky. Chapter 3091. I know. A divine item like the God-suppressing monument is in the hands of my friend. Therefore, the person you are looking for and the peerless divine item is in my friend's possession. Tell me, should I spare your life? Jiang Chen laughed and said, Jiang Chen. You. How dare you go back on your words? Dou Qing's expression changed. Jiang Chen's killing intent surged as soon as he took a step forward. Dou Qing was the first to bear the brunt of Jiang Chen's killing intent, becoming Jiang Chen's target. Even though Dou Qing had told Jiang Chen the big secret, he still could not return to peace. This fella is like a scoundrel. A true expert cares about their dignity. When did I promise you that I would spare your dog life? To me, your death is not worth mentioning. Therefore, killing you is just a matter of convenience. Jiang Chen sneered. He raised his sword and the half-step divine emperor expert died under his sword. Since then, the 3 half-step divine emperors of the Battle God clan had all died in the hands of Jiang Chen. The people of Tongxian Mansion were extremely nervous. Because Jiang Chen was going to deal with their Tongxian Mansion next. Rumble. At this moment, an incomparably huge scorching wave rose up from the Heaven Dragon prison. The destructive aura was suffocating. Jiang Chen couldn't react in time. However, at this moment, a flaming dragon was formed from the Heaven Dragon prison. It roared and soared up, crushing the entire profound connection divine palace. Its mightiness was overwhelming and unstoppable. The eyes of the flaming dragon were ferocious and terrifying. Jiang Chen kept retreating, but the terrifying flaming dragon had already swept towards him, as if it was about to devour him. What a terrifying fire dragon! Jiang Chen thought to himself. Even his 5 elements divine fire seemed extremely insignificant in front of this fiery dragon. The 5 elements divine fire rippled out and fire snakes filled the void, burning the entire Tongxian Mansion. Scram! Jiang Chen shouted in a low voice. The blazing flame of the 3,000 flame sky seal was instantly swallowed up. Jiang Chen's expression suddenly changed. What exactly was this flame dragon? It was actually so powerful and majestic. Even if the current him were to go all out, he might not be able to block the attack of this berserk flame dragon. Flood the Golden Mountain. Heavenly River. Retreat. All of a sudden, a roar was heard. The 4 waters mad dragon that was formed from endless divine water crushed the void. In the void, the 2 dragons, 1 fire and 1 water, intertwined with each other. Terrifying waves of air rolled and mist rose into the sky. In the end, the 2 terrifying water and fire dragons returned to the void. Their dreadful aura also rapidly retreated like the tide. Jiang Chen's heart trembled. He also felt that he had a new lease of life. If it wasn't for the 4 waters mad dragon that forced the flaming mad dragon to retreat, he might have been turned into ashes by now. Not to mention the students of the Tongxian Mansion. Even Jiang Chen had never seen or heard of such a phenomenon. Just a flame phantom alone was able to burst out such a terrifying power. Jiang Chen knew that he was far behind. It's him. It's really him. A hoarse voice resounded in Jiang Chen's ears. You're awake? Senior Dragon Emperor. Jiang Chen's heart moved. The 4 waters mad dragon should have been created by the ancestral Dragon Emperor. However, Jiang Chen could feel that the ancestral Dragon Emperor's aura had become weaker. Obviously, it was caused by the attack just now. I'm awake. But soon, I'll fall into a deep sleep again. Damn it. To meet him here. The ancestral Dragon Emperor's words were filled with helplessness. Jiang Chen knew that the ancestral Dragon Emperor had been in a deep sleep for a long time. However, in order to save Jiang Chen, the ancestral Dragon Emperor fought the flaming mad dragon with all his might. The flaming mad dragon emperor was forced to retreat and he must have used up a lot of his soul energy. Is it because of the flame phantom? What is it? Jiang Chen frowned and asked. He always felt that there was something hidden in the 18th level of the Heaven Dragon prison. After seeing it today, he knew that it was not something that he could control. It's something that you shouldn't know about now. If it wasn't for the ancient seal, the seal left by a divine emperor expert wouldn't be able to suppress him. The ancestral Dragon Emperor said with lingering fear. As for who he is, it's better for you not to ask about it. You might only have the chance to witness his magnificence when you've at least reached the divine emperor realm. Currently, even if he's sealed under the ground, his illusory figure is enough to kill you. To think that there's a seal left by a divine emperor expert here. What a joke. The only thing that can seal him is the ancient seal. This fella might explode any time. Once he explodes, he'll be the real devil from hell. The ancestral dragon emperor's words were filled with fear. Jiang Chen didn't ask anymore. To be able to make the ancestral dragon emperor afraid, he must be a powerful existence even in the immemorial era. Most importantly, that fella's phantom that was sealed under the ground could still deal a fatal blow to him. How powerful was that? You really didn't disappoint me. To think that your soul has reached the emperor realm. Wait, you've formed your own Tao? The ancestral dragon emperor was shocked as he did not expect Jiang Chen to be able to condense his own Tao when he was still in the hierarch realm. Moreover, this Tao was quite powerful. Even the ancestral dragon emperor was extremely serious about it. Yes, I call him Ling Tian Dao. Ling Tian Dao, Ling Tian Dao, Ling Tian Dao. Jiang Chen said. Great. This is too shocking. Ha ha ha, kid, promise me one thing. When you've reached the peak of the divine emperor realm, can you come to the dragon clan? If I want to be revived, I must go back to the dragon clan's ancient land. Otherwise, I won't be able to cultivate the golden body. The ancestral dragon emperor said. All right. Jiang Chen promised the ancestral dragon emperor. However, he didn't know when he would be able to reach the peak of the divine emperor realm. All right, senior dragon emperor. I have another question. How did I obtain the great emperor's Tao? Where exactly is the Taoist connotation? Jiang Chen asked with a low voice. The great emperor's Taoist connotation is born out of the reincarnation of heaven and earth. The Taoist connotation is born out of the will of the Tao. Cultivating with a sword, cultivating the heart with a sword. The Tao is born from the heart and the will is moved. It is the Qi connotation of the cultivation of the Great Way. For you, it is still too far away. Although you have cultivated the Great Way, it is not easy to truly comprehend the Taoist connotation of heaven and earth. Even so, you're the first person that I've seen who could form the Tao in the hierarch realm. The ancestral dragon emperor was full of praise for Jiang Chen. When the great Tao is formed, the heaven and earth will not move. Jiang Chen's talent has a long way to go. This time, in order to save you, I defeated that guy. It's really a failure. I might have to fall into a deep sleep again. When your soul realm is strong enough, you might be able to wake me up. Remember, hurry up and leave this place. It won't be long before that guy makes a comeback. The ancestral dragon emperor's voice slowly disappeared from Jiang Chen's mind. Jiang Chen looked at the heaven dragon tower that he had raised to the ground with a lingering fear. What kind of expert was sealed under the heaven dragon prison? Jiang Chen didn't know. However, he knew that he must leave this place. Otherwise, there might be another battle. By then, the ancestral dragon emperor would have retreated and Jiang Chen wouldn't be able to fight against him. Jiang Chen looked around. The entire Tongxian mansion had become a ruin. The void was filled with dust. Those people from Tongxian mansion looked at the scene helplessly. To Tongxian mansion, they were innocent. Jiang Chen did not start a massacre. The Tao of Ling Tian was to go against the heavens, not to bully the weak. Chapter 3092. Yu Chenglong's heart sank and his face became extremely gloomy because he felt an incomparably strong killing intent directed at him. Jiang Chen's eyes emitted a terrifying killing intent that was hard to describe. He didn't expect that Jiang Chen would stare at him at this time. That kind of gaze penetrated all obstacles in the sea of people, directly towards him with a terrifying momentum. Although Jiang Chen didn't do anything, he still felt his heart tremble. No one could understand that kind of feeling of despair. Yu Chenglong felt that his heart was already in his throat. Tongxian Mansion is in danger. Lin Yukong sighed. He originally thought that Jiang Chen would continue to kill at this time, but Jiang Chen's actions were out of everyone's expectations. He didn't attack the people of Tongxian Mansion. Even those elders weren't reprimanded by Jiang Chen. Killing people can't solve everything. The grudges between me and the second and third mansion masters have been cleared. It has nothing to do with you. When the so-called great mansion master comes back, he might come looking for me. But all of this has nothing to do with you. Jiang Chen shook his head and said, there was no meaning in killing them. It would only increase the sin of killing. The great elder, Lin Yukong and the others looked at each other. The corners of their mouths were full of bitterness. Jiang Chen didn't want to attack them because if Jiang Chen attacked them again, they wouldn't have any power to fight back. They had witnessed Jiang Chen's previous means. It wasn't something they could contend against. Yu Chenglong, I really underestimated you. Jiang Chen looked at Yu Chenglong in the crowd and said. Everyone looked at Yu Chenglong. Yu Chenglong's heart sank to the bottom. What do you mean? Yu Chenglong's heart was beating like a drum, but he didn't dare to look Jiang Chen in the eye. He didn't know what Jiang Chen was thinking, but that murderous aura was frightening. Yu Chenglong had some doubts in his heart. Could it be that Jiang Chen knew what he was doing in secret? That shouldn't be the case. Even if he was unhappy with me, it should just be a guess. Don't you understand what I mean? Jiang Chen sneered. We can be considered old friends. Jiang Chen, it's true that you're strong, but I, Yu Chenglong, won't allow anyone to frame me. If you have anything to say, just say it. What's the meaning of this? If you want to kill me, I won't be able to fight back. But even if I die, I want to die in peace. Yu Chenglong walked over proudly. He forced himself to look at Jiang Chen, but his heart was already filled with fear. If Jiang Chen really acted like a hothead and killed him instantly, he wouldn't be able to do anything. He was also gambling that Jiang Chen wouldn't act against him, gambling that Jiang Chen was just guessing. If it wasn't for Sister Ning, I would have already killed you. Jiang Chen said coldly. I've taken care of Sister Zhu for over 100 years, and I'm infatuated with her. Even though she only has you in her heart, when have I ever hurt her? I've only silently protected her. Unfortunately, you don't know that Sister Zhu won't be able to live for long. If I can save her, I won't hesitate even if I have to die. But where were you at that time? Do you really think that you're worthy of Sister Zhu? For her, I can go through fire and water, but you're still carefree. What right do you have to obtain her selfless love? I'm not willing, Yu Chenglong, am not willing. Yu Chenglong roared, pretending to be wronged. Jiang Chen's heart wasn't moved, but he snorted in disdain. But when he mentioned that Sister Ning wouldn't be able to live for long, Jiang Chen's heart was touched. Because Sister Ning had said the same thing before, Jiang Chen couldn't help but take it seriously. She must have suffered a great injury for her to be like this. Jiang Chen didn't argue with Yu Chenglong, because there were some things that he only needed to understand. He could turn them into ashes with a lift of his finger, so why would he care about what others thought? Ask yourself honestly. Just do what you should do. But with your cultivation, I'm afraid there's no need for you to continue existing. Jiang Chen said coldly. You? What are you trying to do? Jiang Chen. Yu Chenglong's heart sank and his expression changed. Could it be that Jiang Chen was really going to make a move against him? Because of Sister Ning, I'll take your life. But people have to take responsibility for their own mistakes. Jiang Chen said. He took a step forward and charged towards Yu Chenglong. Yu Chenglong's expression changed and he quickly retreated. However, his speed was worlds apart from Jiang Chen. Yu Chenglong wanted to retaliate, but Jiang Chen's methods were too ruthless. He didn't give Yu Chenglong the slightest chance to take a breather. With a thunderous palm strike, Yu Chenglong couldn't retaliate at all. Too powerful. Jiang Chen defeated senior brother Yu in a single move. This is too shocking. It's a complete suppression in terms of strength. But he's only slightly stronger than senior brother Yu. How could there be such a huge disparity? Don't forget that a half-step divine emperor is much stronger than Jiang Chen. But in the end, he was still killed by Jiang Chen? Can this guy be judged by common sense? That's right. Jiang Chen only needed one move to deal with Yu Chenglong. This is already giving him enough face. Moreover, Jiang Chen didn't kill senior brother Yu. Jiang Chen's strength was shocking, but everyone was already used to it. Jiang Chen had done more shocking things than this. Jiang Chen crippled all of Yu Chenglong's strength with a single move, turning him into a mortal in an instant. Yu Chenglong was completely dumbfounded. His face turned pale. The feeling of being reduced to a commoner was far more painful than being killed. He fell from heaven to hell. Such a difference was really better than Jiang Chen killing him directly. His million years of cultivation had completely turned into an illusion. Just a moment ago, he was still all-powerful and had become a well-known figure among the students. But now, he was so weak that he couldn't even withstand a single blow. If it was anyone else, who would be able to endure this? No, this is impossible. Impossible. Yu Chenglong murmured. His eyes were filled with despair. He even looked a little dazed. No one would have thought that Yu Chenglong had actually gone mad. Such a blow was really shocking. Some people felt sorry for him, some sighed. The three heads of the outer sect, who were once the great senior brother of the inner sect, had now become like this, full of lunatics. Those who commit unjust deeds will bring about their own destruction. He only has himself to blame. Gu Maolu sneered. He was well aware of everything that Yu Chenglong had done. This guy was not someone who was easy to deal with. Gu Maolu had really underestimated him and was almost deceived by his appearance. He didn't expect Yu Chenglong to be such a despicable person. Sigh. Brother Yu still couldn't escape his misfortune. Jiang Chen isn't someone easy to deal with. This time, Brother Yu has made a grave mistake. Bai Ying also sighed. Both of them were well aware that Yu Chenglong's current strength and status could be considered as fate. But who would have thought that the final outcome would be so miserable? Chapter 3093. To an expert that had cultivated for hundreds of thousands of years, Yu Chenglong's failure was equivalent to his death. It was more painful than death. Now, he's a little crazy. He's no longer as elegant as he used to be. However, no one dared to criticize Jiang Chen's actions. Even Lin Yukong and the Great Elder could only lower their heads silently, not daring to have the slightest objection. Because, if Jiang Chen wanted to kill them, it would be as easy as taking something out of his pocket. He's like a god emperor, looking down on all living beings with cold eyes. Dong Huang, Shi, what do you guys plan to do after I leave? Jiang Chen looked at Dong Huang, Tai A and the others. Everyone looked at each other, because they couldn't stay here any longer. Otherwise, if the Great Master of the Prefecture or the Great Elder of the Prefecture were to come after them, they would be powerless and helpless, waiting to be slaughtered. This was because they were inextricably linked to Jiang Chen. If Jiang Chen left, they would most likely become the scapegoats. This was a principle that everyone understood. There's more than one divine mansion in the northern cold divine region. We'll go to the other divine mansions. Since we're divine kings now, we can go anywhere in the world. Dong Huang Tai said after a moment of silence. This was their only choice. They must not stay here anymore. You're right. There'll be other places for us to stay, ha ha ha. Amo Kehan said with a smile. Without any hesitation, more than 20 of them stood on their side. Many of them were people that were indebted to Jiang Chen. They were close to Jiang Chen. They must leave now. If the people from Tongxian Mansion were to take action against them, it'll be troublesome. The Tongtian Divine Mansion should be the closest to here. I've been wanting to go there for a long time. Gu Maolu said with a smile. He was right to befriend Jiang Chen. Even though he couldn't catch up to Jiang Chen anymore, they fought together before. Everyone, let's meet again if fate wills it. Jiang Chen still has important matters to attend to, so I'll take my leave now. After speaking, Jiang Chen turned around and left. He turned into a streak of light and disappeared into the horizon. Dong Huang Taiji, Dong Huang Tai A, Murong Wanyu, Lu Dong, Amo Kihan, Shi, Gu Maolu, Bai Ying and the rest. More than 20 people came from the same place as Jiang Chen. They left Tongxian Mansion. The world was big. There would be a place for them. A group of Divine King Realm experts would not be buried in the divine world. Yu Chenglong slowly raised his head and looked in the direction where Jiang Chen had left with a gloomy expression. His aura was completely gone and all that was left was a broken body. He would remember today's humiliation for the rest of his life. The first elder glanced at Lin Yukong and said in a low voice, Tongxian Mansion has suffered such a great loss. Looks like we have to make a choice. That's right. No one can stay out of this. Jiang Chen's battle has caused a huge blow to our profound connection divine palace. 2 of our palace masters have fallen. Only the great palace master is left. I wonder when the great palace master will return. Lin Yukong said. The day the great mansion lord returns will be the day we take our revenge. The first elder's eyes were cold. Even though Jiang Chen had spared them, they would never forget the enmity of Tongxian Mansion. However, it was impossible for them to change their fate with their current strength. They could only place all their hopes on the great mansion lord. Bai Yun silently looked towards the east. That was the direction of Tongxian Mansion. She had an uneasy feeling in her heart, as if there was something hidden in her heart. Brother Shersan, I'm sorry. It's all my fault, it's all my fault. Bai Yun squatted on the ground and cried silently. However, She was clear that Long San was completely angry with her. They had even broken off their relationship. When she tried her best to bring Long San away, he was filled with hostility towards her. Even though she only wanted to save Long San, in Long San's eyes, Bai Yun had already disappointed him. Bai Yun knew that Long San's departure was a disaster. They had witnessed the strength of Tongxian Mansion. If it wasn't for Jiang Chen who sacrificed his life to save them, the situation would have been even more dangerous. Jiang Chen sacrificed his life for justice, but he was suppressed by 4 half-step deity emperors. That scene was extremely tragic and dangerous. Even Long San's final choice was no different from seeking his own death. Sister Ning, what should we do? Little Chunzi he. Yan Qingqing murmured. When the words came to her mouth, she could no longer control her emotions. That kind of sorrow and heartache was written all over her face. I don't believe that our man will leave just like that. Wu Ningzhu looked towards the direction of Tongxian Mansion. She couldn't believe that she had suffered such a huge blow when she had just met Jiang Chen. She was willing to die for him, but she didn't want him to lose his life for her. Humans were selfish, but Wu Ningzhu wanted to keep Jiang Chen by her side forever. Although Wu Ningzhu knew that she would die soon, she couldn't stop missing Jiang Chen. Yan Qingqing followed Wu Ningzhu's gaze. Jiang Chen's aura had disappeared without a trace. Long San was gone forever. Was this the end for them? Would the peerless prodigy of the 9 regions immortal world fall just like that? Qian Renji had left. She wanted to go to Lone Dragon County and Qilian boundary to look for Zi Qingtian. She was helpless and could only leave silently. The people of the Lihuan sect had also left. After knowing that Jiang Chen did not leave a life-death mark on them, they were filled with gratitude and longing for life. Xueqi and Bing Yun looked at each other. Xueqi didn't believe that Jiang Chen would fall just like that. When he turned around, Bing Yun held his hand tightly. Don't go. If you leave, how can I live alone? Bing Yun bit her red lips. Xueqi had to stop his actions. He wanted to go to Tongxian Mansion to look for Jiang Chen, but how could Bing Yun let go of him? The extravagant hope full of affection melted Xueqi's heart at once. Sigh. Xueqi sighed. At this moment, he knew that he couldn't abandon Bing Yun. If he was alone, he would definitely go to Tongxian Mansion, even if he had to collect Jiang Chen's corpse. Jiang Chen, if you die, I won't live alone. Wu Ningzhu closed her eyes, and her heart was filled with despair. In this world, the one who can make me, Jiang Chen, bow down to me has not been born yet. A burst of laughter resounded in the void. Everyone raised their heads and looked at the familiar figure. They felt as if their hearts had been hit by a huge impact. Jiang Chen, whom they had been longing for, had finally returned. Moreover, he had broken free. This was unbelievable. Chapter 3094. To be able to escape from the hands of 4 half-step deity emperors was simply a fantasy. However, Jiang Chen did it. This insufferably arrogant guy had once made countless people sigh in pity, but he still returned with pride in the end. When Jiang Chen's figure appeared in the void, everyone was greatly shocked. Jiang Chen was like an invincible god of war, returning with glory. That kind of power and dominance made them feel that the insufferably arrogant Jiang Chen had returned. Little Chunzi. Yan Qingqing couldn't wait to rush into Jiang Chen's embrace, feeling his warm and firm chest. This kind of real and warm feeling made Yan Qingqing heave a sigh of relief. Their prayers had finally come true. Jiang Chen looked at Wu Ningzhu, and Wu Ningzhu looked back at Jiang Chen. When their gazes met, Jiang Chen felt like he had just survived a disaster. Wu Ningzhu's eyes didn't show any blame or resentment. There was more of tolerance. She knew that it wasn't easy for him. She knew the pressure he was under. She knew the reason why he returned with boundless longing. I want all of you to live well. Live well with me. Jiang Chen smiled faintly. He reached out and embraced Wu Ningzhu. At that moment, there was only a faint satisfaction in his heart. There was no killing, no competition, no comparison, and no hurt. There was only deep affection for each other. The most unforgettable ancient poems. The most disdainful was yearning. Jiang Chen knew that there was no joy or sorrow in his heart, only their gentle faces. 100 years of melancholy, just a thought. Regardless of life or death, just to hold hands with you. Xueqi and Bing Yun looked at each other and smiled. Their lips were full of blessings. Jiang Chen's return was undoubtedly the best news. Although they didn't know how Jiang Chen broke through all the dangers and finally escaped, that scene must have been quite thrilling. Xueqi's admiration for Jiang Chen increased. This guy was always so mysterious. Even under the encirclement of 4 half-step deity emperors, he could still walk leisurely and escape unscathed. Except for Jiang Chen, Xueqi couldn't think of anyone else who could do it. It was just like a fantasy story. However, Jiang Chen's luck had made it. In Xueqi's heart, Jiang Chen was always the kind of expert who stood at the top of the world. He had always wanted to compete with Jiang Chen. Even if he was not as good as Jiang Chen, he still regarded Jiang Chen as his goal. Jiang Chen's strength was always beyond his imagination. Regardless of life or death, both were exciting. However, if Jiang Chen really died, then he seemed to have lost the motivation to improve. The two of them were like two fated people who were entangled with each other. Xueqi regarded Jiang Chen as his confidant and would never let him leave so easily. A gentleman would die for his confidant. Although Bing Yun had too many concerns and fetters, Xueqi would never retreat if it was a matter of life or death. Jiang Chen. Where's brother Shersan? Is he? Bai Yun looked at Jiang Chen with hope in her eyes. Her heart was full of entanglement and struggle, but she missed Long Shersan. Jiang Chen was back, but Long Shersan had disappeared from her sight. His strength was not as good as Jiang Chen's. Would something bad happen to him? Bai Yun's eyes made Jiang Chen's heart ache. This little girl had a natural sense of closeness to Long Shersan, and her humble side made Jiang Chen feel sad. Don't worry. He is not dead, and I won't let him die. However, his injury is too serious. I'm afraid it will take a long time for him to recover. Jiang Chen said. Really? Bai Yun finally felt relieved. As long as Long Shersan was alive, everything would be enough. Even if she was wronged, even if she was abandoned by Long Shersan, so what? As long as he was alive and happy, she would be satisfied. As long as he was well, it would be a sunny day. Can you give him to me? I promise that he will recover as soon as possible. Bai Yun seemed to be a little excited and said, looking at Jiang Chen eagerly. Jiang Chen frowned. It wasn't that he didn't trust White Cloud, but her identity was too mysterious. He couldn't figure it out at all. Moreover, she had healed Dragon Shersan's body several times, which had shocked him tremendously. Even his myriad chi body couldn't be faster than her. All right. Jiang Chen hesitated for a while. However, looking at Bai Yun's eyes, he couldn't bear to reject her. After all, she had good intentions. If she could help Long Shersan recover as soon as possible, it would be beneficial for him. As Jiang Chen waved his hand, Long Shersan appeared in front of Bai Yun. Bai Yun was crying tears of joy, but she felt heartache for Long Shersan. Her tears fell on Long Shersan's body. Long Shersan's injuries were too severe. At the last moment, he almost resisted the attacks of 3 half-step divine emperors by himself. In order to buy time for Jiang Chen, in order to hold on until the last step, he had almost exhausted all his strength, essence, chi and spirit. He was left with only a breath left. Bai Yun's body was covered in blood. Bai Yun was crying while using her origin energy to heal Long Shersan. Jiang Chen was extremely shocked. Because the origin energy was her own essence, it was equivalent to using her life force to prolong Long Shersan's life. No one could imagine that Bai Yun was so determined. Jiang Chen wanted to say something, but he shook his head in the end. This was Long Shersan's fortune, and also their fate. The rise and fall of fate was not something that he could control. Long Shersan's body was recovering bit by bit. However, Bai Yun's expression became extremely ugly. Wrinkles appeared on her young face. Even her long black hair had slowly turned silver. Jiang Chen took a deep breath. Bai Yun had channeled 90% of her origin energy into Long Shersan's body. It was like giving Long Shersan a new lease of life. Moreover, his body had also undergone a huge change. His terrifying recovery power and self-healing ability had increased infinitely. Jiang Chen could not help but feel speechless. Bai Yun was really silly. There was no doubt that she had harmed him. This silly girl. Sigh. You're tuning in to the Xueqi's Martial Arts Saga YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.